They call me Chico Loco, El Gordo Loco with the Pepsi Cherry. I don't know.
What's going on, you guys? It's Perry the Entertainer back again for another video. This time we are going to do a little review of Monday Night Raw for August 11, 2014. I got some guys here help me out here. Let's start off with Eddie. How you doing,
What's up,
brother?
guys?
Steven.
What's up, man?
And we got a newcomer here. His name is Max. Welcome him to the show.
My name is Max. But you already know that.
You sound like Reggie Tiller there for a bit, bro.
Damn
I
it.
think I'm going for Alberto Del Rio.
I guess Reggie Tiller would have flew, but all right. Any sort of social media you guys want to plug before? Let's start, Eddie.
All right. Well, you guys can follow me on Twitter, Thrill to Reign, and got a YouTube channel, a little channel that's been around for a while, Thrill to Reign as well, and the Variety Vendor, where we talk about anything and everything, and I'm sure that you'd appreciate that, Stephen, because we go random as well. Got a 5-hour video there that if you're interested.
How do you spell that channel? How do you spell it?
The Variety Vendor.
No, the Thrill Terrain channel, the one you're.
The Thriller and number 2, and then Rain with a Y and an E at the end. Yes, I am hip and cool. I've got yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, Steven, what do you got to plug, man?
Well, let's see here. You can first of all subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeelSteven. Subscribe to the Team Heel podcast channel. We go live every Friday. YouTube.com/Team Heel podcast. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter @HeelSteven, and also subscribe to TRN Talking Wrestling Network. Right now, we are doing this giveaway, 200 subscribers, where we're trying to get to 200 subs on that channel before Summerslam. And once we get to 200 subscribers, before Summerslam, if we can, during the SummerSlam live review, we'll do a giveaway, and the winner will receive a free autographed signed poster of the Icon Sting.
Awesome.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Go check that out. And Max, what else? What do you have to plug, my man?
Send me a friend request on Facebook. That's about it.
So you got?
Do you have a phone number at least?
My phone number is 1-800-567-8910.
Awesome.
1-800 fella.
And I live on 567 Sesame Street.
Right.
All right.
Can we send pizzas to your house now, man?
As long as they're not pepperoni. I hate pepperoni.
Nobody's supposed
Now
to
we know who we're gonna
that,
egg
Steve.
tonight. Oops.
Nobody's supposed to know about
And
that.
be sure to ask for Big Bird.
Well, you can follow me at the PTE Show. You're obviously watching this on my YouTube channel, Perry the Entertainer. And without further ado, I think let's get started. What happened on Raw this week? What did you guys think about it first?
First and foremost, let me say, well, it's too late now, but a belated birthday to the man himself, the legend, the guy that put wrestling mainstream, the Immortal One, Hulk Hogan. Let's have another sex tape out there going on, hopefully, but who knows, really. But yeah, happy birthday, Hulk.
I was going to have something clever to say, but I forgot. Damn it.
Yes, this entire show.
What happened, Max?
I had something clever to say, but I forgot.
It happens.
So, pretty average show. I mean,
it was there.
And I saw it for the great price of $9.99.
You can get the WWE Network for $9.99. That's the first plug of the show. All right.
Man, for $9.99, I can go to my Chinese restaurant by my house. I can get a chicken broccoli combination with the free soda, with a chicken rice soup.
It's not $10. It's not $9. It's $9.99. Just on that fine line.
But they won't tell you. But yet you find out when you go on that there's a 6-month commitment. So technically you're spending $59.99.
With the option of continuing.
Pretty much. Which I have. I have renewed to the WWE Network.
Yeah,
do research.
my renewing comes, I think, in about a month or so.
I already put it in already.
I'm definitely thinking about it.
I already put it in already, so I'm set.
This Raw was billed as the go home show to SummerSlam, as well as the birthday for one Immortal Hulk Hogan. And we kicked off the show with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman going out there and selling us some more on his match with John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the SummerSlam main event. What did you guys think about the promo before?
Paul Heyman was amazing. Once again, giving a start and great performance on the mic, just like he did the night after WrestleMania when he was bragging about Lesnar beating Taker. The man's a master of the mic.
Indeed, he is. He's Mr. Paul, the man himself, Paul Heyman, Mr. DVD himself, Mr. Blu-ray.
Paul E. Dangerously.
You can say right now, DVD of the year.
Yep.
I've heard some good things about it. I haven't gotten to watch it yet.
Here's what I'll say right now. This DVD is better than that Kingdom Come by Triple H, but that Kingdom Come is better than CM Punk's Best in the World.
I have to agree with that.
Okay.
My favorite part of Heyman's promo when he said, "I'm Brock Lesnar's advocating Jew."
Yeah. He loves throwing out that word.
Wouldn't be
He's
surprised
a Jew.
Wouldn't be surprised if one day he came out with the yarmulke. Shalom.
Yeah.
That wouldn't get over. That would not get over well.
Brock
With the
Lesnar's
clip-on
gonna be
sideburns.
John Cena's
Coach.
I think
Probably.
if Paul Heyman does something ridiculous, the fans are just going to be all over him.
Star of David, motherfucker, right here.
Yeah. He can come out with a shirt like the I Love Colt Cabana, but instead with the Star of David on the love part.
Hitler can go suck my you-know-what.
Yeah.
All right.
So what were we talking about?
About Brock Lesnar's promo, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman's promo. What did you think about it?
Well, I got to see snippets of it, but from what I can tell, you guys liked it a lot, and yeah, Paul Heyman is a great manager, and I'm gonna be doing a review of his latest DVD. And if any of you guys, if you've guys seen it, you know, you can join in, and we could do a review together. So yeah, I don't believe that he's the best, but right now he is the best manager in the world. So yeah, the promo's good.
I think the promo did what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to get Cena and Brock over as the real main event, because they've been building with the Brie and Stephanie thing over the last few weeks as being the main event of the show, and putting all the spotlight on that because either one or the other was not showing up every week. So to finally have both of them in the same arena at the same time.
But you know what? That was real old school the way they did that feud. That was a real old school way. You would not have those two meet until like the last show before the pay-per-view. So I like that.
Yeah.
It was an old school way of delivering a feud.
Right.
Heyman talking about how back in 2012 when Cena beat Lesnar at Extreme Rules, Lesnar was only 50%, but now he's 100%, and that's going to be the difference.
Right.
And how Lesnar's going to get ready to conquer John Cena. It was a good promo, and it got Brock over as the Beast incarnate. And I think that was what...
does a great job of putting Lesnar over.
Exactly. And how they were... Brock's going out to have dinner, but he's going to be back and he's coming home, and that's what's set up later on in the night. But any last words that you guys want to say about this?
Doesn't make me want to watch the match anymore.
Yep.
What'd you say?
I'm rooting for Lesnar.
Doesn't make me want to watch the match anymore, you know.
I wasn't completely sold on it until the end of the show anyway, so. All right, we move on to a Roman Reigns versus, it was supposed to be a one person picked by the Authority. We had the return of Corporate Kane, and it all ended up coming out to be Roman Reigns in a handicap match versus RybAxel. Good match was about 9 minutes. Roman Reigns ends up getting the victory by disqualification, even though somehow you can hit the steel post and it's a disqualification. That didn't stop Roman Reigns from laying the smacketh down on Curtis Axel and Ryback to end the segment. What do you guys think about that?
I'm surprised that RybAxel got the reaction that they did, because I would have assumed that the audience would have been like, "Who the hell are these two guys?" But yet they got a loud boos when they come out. Maybe because Kane introduced them, but.
All right.
And
Steven, go ahead.
I mean, I didn't get to watch it, but from what I did hear, apparently, Reigns destroyed RybAxel. But then again, what did you expect, really? It's Roman Reigns here, who is the future of the company, obviously.
Right.
And pretty much this is leading up to Orton versus Reigns at SummerSlam, which I'll say right now, I have no high hopes for this match. I'm sensing the snore fest in this one.
Yeah, I mean, this match did good in showcasing what Roman Reigns can bring to the table when it comes to him being the powerhouse and everything. Hence the reason why him and Ryback, I think, meshed very well in the match. As for the match itself, I think for what it was worth, it was okay. I mean, the promo afterwards that Reigns delivered with Renee Young, that was horrible. I think I would bet money on John Morrison giving me more mic skills than that, and that should tell you something. Talking about knocking fangs down a snake's throat and what happens, he's a worm or something.
Believe that.
The crowd didn't even know how to react to it, so they just cheered because Roman Reigns is over.
Yeah.
But at least you understood what he was saying. Unlike before, when he tried to be all quiet.
I think Roman Reigns, though, is trying to hit every single character all at the same time and trying to see what sticks. He's like, okay, I'm gonna try to be the cool, suave, wrestler, or I'm gonna be like the badass. I'm gonna be like the the cool guy. But at the same time, it's all over the place. It's like a chameleon changing colors right in front of you to every color that is around, and it's not working. And if he continues with that, then a lot of people are just going to hate him.
Well, I think what was working for him was the short, sweet, and to the point, and then let my fists do the talking.
Yeah.
I think that was what was working for him in the first place, but now that he's actually trying to add depth to his promos, and you can see that he was trying to do that today with that horrible thing about him turning Randy Orton into a worm because he's trying to be the Viper again. He's trying to add depth, but there's nothing there. It's like trying to. You're trying to do
bad writers.
It could be bad writers, but I just don't think Reigns can deliver on the mic. I think he is just.
The thing with Roman Reigns is he depends so much on that Superman punch.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it is. He depends so much.
That and the spear. In the spear.
Exactly.
I mean, could you start building around that, I guess, and that one move?
I mean, look at Goldberg back in the day. That worked
Right.
for him.
But the thing is,
with Goldberg, he never talked longer than 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, he looked
really
like a
need to.
UFC fighter.
And plus, if the Superman punch was Roman Reigns' finisher, I feel that would have been more better than the spear, because every big guy does the spear, except for Edge. He's like the only small guy who does the spear.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
But you gotta admit that it looks impressive coming from Roman Reigns, like way more than any other guy on the roster.
Well, that's because I don't think anybody else on the roster does the spear. At least anymore.
Once Edge left, that was it.
Batista used to do it, but he used to do more of a tackle.
His was all sloppy. I mean, I remember one time they had this battle royal where Edge and Batista did the spear, and they hit each other's head, and Batista got busted up on the head.
Oh yeah, the bragging rights thing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They both cracked each other in the head.
Like, you idiots, why you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Have one guy do the spear, that's it.
Right.
It was just a miscommunication, I think, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I saw that and they look brutal. Like even from watching on TV, I thought it was terrible.
I think you can start using that and try and use the spear and or Superman punch to try and market Roman Reigns as the future of the company. I think that's what they're trying to do right now. But I think try and get people sold on Roman Reigns' kind of moveset, because at right now he only does about 3 moves that actually make him unique from everyone else on the roster.
Of course.
And I'm hoping that's what he brings at SummerSlam to kind of expand on the moveset and show us stuff that we haven't seen before, and show us why we should invest our time and our money into you being the face of the company in the next year or so.
And plus, maybe I'm just throwing this out, but maybe if they try to do more with his, Samoan heritage, like, he's a Samoan, he's from the same family as like all these other people, and instead of trying to make him like, we all know he's Samoan, so just put him out like, yeah, he's a Samoan badass, just like everyone else,
Mm-hmm.
Like if they try to do
kind
like,
of though that what they're trying to do is they're trying to have that crossover appeal, and with WWE, everybody thinks, oh, Samoans are like, they come out with the skirts and being all stereotypical like the Usos or the Wild Samoans or any one of those. So they're trying to stay away from associating him with that, kind of like Rock did.
You can have Roman Reigns do what TNA did with Samoa Joe when he was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And having him beat his badass
You're
killer
talking about
machine.
tattooing his face?
No, I mean no, Samoa Joe when he was cool. When he was relevant.
Mm-hmm.
When he was undefeated in TNA.
What they're trying to do is, I think, they're trying to distance Roman Reigns away from that, and they're trying to make him kind of perceive his own identity.
Yeah.
And they're obviously they're trying to use the Shield's background to do that. As you can see,
Right.
That's why he was the one that kept the music. That's why he kept the attire. That's why he kept the entrance. That's why he kind of kept that entire feel, because he pretty much was the Shield. WWE was trying to build the Shield around Roman Reigns as the well, of course, they were trying to. We all know it's Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, but that actually dwells us into what we're going to be talking about next. RVD versus Seth Rollins. This match was supposed to happen last week. About 10, 11 minute match here. Seth Rollins ends up getting the win with the curb stomp. Seth Rollins looked very good here. We had Dean Ambrose come out from one of Hulk Hogan's presents that were on the stage, and Dean Ambrose finally got his hands on Seth Rollins. But to no avail, Rollins ran through the crowd. Ambrose made a cheap little plug towards the network, which everyone didn't mind, and the sights are set on SummerSlam for Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose in a lumberjack match. What do you guys think about the match? What do you guys think about Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins at SummerSlam?
I'll say this right now. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
I like that. I like this whole Seth Rollins Dean Ambrose match because these two guys were like the more athletic guys of the Shield, and Dean Ambrose has the whole. He can speak better on the mic, and I like that Seth Rollins has the briefcase out of all of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be a good match. I mean, I don't mind if it's a lumberjack match. Go ahead, make a lumberjack match or I Quit match. I don't care. They're gonna have a good match at SummerSlam. I know that.
All right, Steven, go ahead. Get what you were gonna say out.
Let's be honest. We all knew that Seth Rollins was gonna be Rob Van Dam. We all knew that was gonna happen. Because it would not make sense to have Seth Rollins, who lost last week to Heath Slater, lose 2 weeks in a row, going into a pay-per-view. I'll be honest, okay? I feel like this feud, Ambrose and Rollins, has really taken a downgrade ever since Battleground. Let's be honest.
So?
In the sense of, okay, during Battleground, when they had that brawl, even though, yes, they were going into a bigger match for SummerSlam.
That's actually why I liked it, but go ahead.
At the time, I was saying, you know what? This has to be right now the best feud in WWE. You know what I'm saying?
By default, but go ahead. Like I said, I'll say all this when I get mine, but go ahead.
And then, out of nowhere, you have Stephanie and Brie, excuse me, I belched there, in a way, overshadowing Rollins and Ambrose, even though Stephanie and Brie is more of an angle than a match. You know what I mean? It's to me again, like I just feel like there's this huge downgrade to Ambrose and Rollins. It really it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be that.
Right. Well, I think that the reason why they did that at Battleground, they didn't have the match, was even though that I thought that was bullshit, is that they didn't want to overshadow the main event. And I think because they've been wrestling each other for like years in FCW and even in house shows, and a lot of people have been saying that it's the best match on the show. So it's WWE's way of saying, "Oh, you gotta wait for this," because when it happens at SummerSlam, holy shit, you're gonna love it. That's the reason why they're not been in contact with each other, even though that I thought that they could have done tag matches or something like that. Um, and it is definitely the most. It's the match that I'm looking forward to the most. And I don't agree that it should be a lumberjack match, but I think the idea was the reason for that is that you're going to see them flying all over the place, and they want to have as many people to protect them, from breaking a leg or an arm. So you're going to have a lot of guys catching them, whenever they do their dives. Because I think that Triple H has, high hopes for both Ambrose and Rollins. So, yeah, it was a good match, but it's becoming the new Alberto Del Rio Kofi Kingston matches, where Rollins faces Rob Van Dam every single week, and it's getting tiring. Where it's like, come on, do something new. Have Rollins face someone else. Let him beat up Adam Rose. Let him beat up Fandango. Anybody. Why Van Dam of all people? But yeah, it was an okay match, but the segment after that was way better. So that's my opinion.
I I agree that I don't think that the match with Ambrose and Rollins should have happened at Battleground. I'm actually kind of glad it didn't. I think it draws more suspense to the SummerSlam match itself, and it builds it up a lot more, considering this is the first time they've actually faced off on TV.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the reason why I don't really agree with your point, Eddie, when they said, oh, you know, they don't want to really overshadow the main event, is I would rather have them overshadow a Fatal 4-Way that you pretty much know the ending for than John Cena, Brock Lesnar,
Mm-hmm.
which is the main match on the card. I don't care who Taker's fighting. I don't care who Triple H is fighting. It's John Cena, and it's Brock Lesnar, and it's for the world title. I would rather have had Ambrose and Rollins fight off at Battleground if that meant it was overshadowing a certain match.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But as for the feud, I don't want to say it's taking a downgrade,
Mm-hmm.
but I can understand where you'd say it. I'd say they're getting a lot less time on television. The spots are getting a lot more predictable. With the big present out there, it was kind of obvious, especially when Seth Rollins kind of started eyeing towards it. You had a feeling something was going to happen there. And I'm just not really excited as much as I should be for the match. Maybe it's because it's a lumberjack match. Maybe it's because, you know, the fact that WWE's not trying to put a whole lot of effort into it. But maybe they're actually meaning to try and surprise somebody, or they're trying to surprise us as fans at the event.
Mm-hmm.
But
Here's what I think will happen, and I apologize if I cut you off, Perry. I apologize.
no, go ahead.
Here's what I think will happen too. Okay, it could be a lumberjack match, even though I would prefer to be a steel cage or, you know, a no holds bar match. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
here what they can probably do also. And here's what I think is gonna happen. And some weird, call me weird, but here's what I think. Here's what I think is gonna happen. They're gonna have Ambrose win. And honestly, believe it or not, I don't think that Cena will. I don't think that Brock will win. I don't think so. I think what's gonna happen is you'll have Cena win at SummerSlam. As crazy that may sound, right? But you'll have Brock beat the fuck out of him after the match and have Rollins cash in. And the next night on Raw, you're gonna have Rollins in a suit celebrating his title win. You gotta have Ambrose come out saying, "Hey, listen, I beat you at SummerSlam in that lumberjack match. Now you're the champion. Now I'm the #1 contender." Meaning, at Night of Champions, you can see Rollins and Ambrose for the title.
Mhm.
You know what I
That would
mean?
sell. That would sell seats.
Exactly. I put butts in the seats.
That would, but what are you gonna do with Lesnar after that?
That's the thing about it. I mean, if you think about this too, we were talking about this off the air. You know, with
Yeah.
Brock, you know, the question is, what's going to happen with Brock? Is he going to be at every pay per view? I don't think so either. And I think WWE also knows that too. So would you rather have, in this case, a champion who's there every month, or would you rather have, hey, a guy who's a champion right now, who is going to make special appearances then and there?
They could do it in a way where Lesnar beats Cena, and then beat him so bad, like you said, that he would take out Cena. But at the same time, uh, he would be stripped from the title, and then Rollins could cash in on the vacated title, and he'd be like the automatic champion because there's no one holding the title, so he could have an easy way of taking in the title, and then you can have Ambrose and Rollins for Night of Champions. But at the same time, um, the WWE Network is going global right after SummerSlam,
Actually,
so
tomorrow.
It's going over to tomorrow.
Actually,
right.
right now.
So you're good. This is the
Right.
time where you're gonna need Cena and Lesnar around the longest. This is when you're gonna need to sell as many subscriptions as you can, and Lesnar and Cena are your top two guys. So I don't know. Making the main event scene Ambrose and Rollins feels too soon to me.
It would definitely put more spotlight. It would definitely put more, prestige back into the titles
Oh yeah, I'm
to
not.
have Ambrose
Yeah.
and Rollins fight for them.
Hmm.
And it would definitely spark the feud a little more because I'm still not a still not a big fan. How the only reason why Dean Ambrose still has beef with Seth Rollins is because of the whole Shield breaking up thing.
Hmm.
It needs new spice. It needs more. It needs more because you can't have Dean Ambrose be this upset for this long.
Right.
And I get it. Okay, you want to get your hands on him and everything, but where does the feud go after tonight or after Sunday? What happens if Dean Ambrose gets the win? Is he not going to be satisfied with the win? He's going to want to kill him or something, and that's when you have a buried alive match or something. Yeah.
I think it's gonna
yeah.
it's gonna end with a loser
How do you-
leaves WWE.
How
in
do
a
you
way.
build? I don't think WWE can afford that. They can't afford a loser leaves WWE match between those two.
Budget.
But they'll bring
Hashtag-
him back. They'll
hashtag
definitely
budget
bring him
cuts.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, hashtag budget. If they're willing to drop one of the two best wrestlers in the world, more power to you. Obviously, you must have a whole lot of faith in somebody if you're
Because
willing
they're
to
gonna
get rid of one of the
do
best
Rollins
wrestlers in the
and
world.
Reigns. Because remember, Reigns didn't get his revenge on Rollins. You talk about Ambrose.
I think they're
being
trying to
pissed off, what
distance
about
him
Reigns?
to it. I think they're trying to distance him from it.
Maybe, but
I think they're trying to distance Roman Reigns away from the entire thing itself.
but remember, till his Rumble win, he still got a feud with other people other than Orton. He's not gonna face Kane every single week.
I think the only thing they're doing with Reigns right now is they're just having Reigns go through the authority. Once he beats one goes down, and then he takes out the other until he gets to the head of the operations, Triple H, and that's when Roman takes on Triple H. Roman probably gets the win, and that's when Roman Reigns is built for life until the Rumble. When he ends up winning the Rumble, and that's when he faces Brock at Mania or something. But any last words on that before we move on
I mean,
to the next?
ironically, wasn't Triple H and Reigns supposed to go at it this year at SummerSlam?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They changed it to Orton.
Hmm.
Crazy.
But as far as Rollins cashing in on Cena and being champion, I'm sorry, that can't happen because it's too soon. It's way too soon. Like
Yeah.
I understand you want young guys to be the champion, but it's like it's too soon. Like you gotta build these guys up first. What's Seth Rollins really doing now that would say, oh yeah, I see him being champion at SummerSlam. Oh yeah, but he's having some random feud with Dean Ambrose. Yeah, he has the briefcase, but you gotta build him up. You can't just rush it. And plus, why would Brock Lesnar let that happen? Brock Lesnar beats down John Cena. Seth Rollins comes down and try to cash in. Brock Lesnar just gonna let him do it? Brock Lesnar probably beat the crap out of him.
Right.
And also, the whole thing with Brock Lesnar, if he wins the championship, national, come on, they did the same thing with The Rock. The same thing with him. There's no difference between the two. When The Rock won it from CM Punk, he never showed up at a lot of the pay-per-views. He never showed up at any of the Raws. The same way Brock did. I mean, Brock is going to do, because he is going to beat Cena. There's no way they're going to have him beat The Undertaker, end the streak. Only, oh, sorry, no championship.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things where what we want as fans, we want to see Brock win the title. Another thing is what creative has in mind. Like right now, as we speak, the people in WWE Creative can have, okay, Sunday, Brock's going to win the title. And then you're hours away from the match. You're like, oh, we got to change of plans. Here's what's going to happen. Cena's going to retain. And you're going to be gone. Or maybe you win Night of Champions.
Unless maybe they do something where, like, hey, we got some guy in the back. He wants to be in the title match. Who is it? It's some weird guy. And like, oh, it's Daniel Bryan. He comes back. Oh, my God.
Or if it's the other guy, that other guy, that...
Posted note guy?
The quitter, the quitter,
Oh, right. He should not be named.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He won't be back. He'll never...
I know, I'm just saying.
I wouldn't be surprised if he came back like at the Royal Rumble and like, yeah, that's when he comes back.
Number 30, he came back at number 30 and he wins it.
Those fans were marked out. I mean, it would be a lot better than when Batista came back and won it.
And I'll call my friend Mark.
But do you guys agree that Lesnar is too big for the championship? I mean, because I don't think that, a championship is going to change what we think about Lesnar and be like, oh, now he's a badass. Dude got his biggest win at WrestleMania. I mean, the title is not going to be an upgrade.
But you're telling me that, so Brock Lesnar is strong enough to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, but he's not strong enough to beat John Cena.
Yeah, so it's
he lost to The Undertaker before.
Yeah.
The Undertaker has gone undefeated at every WrestleMania. He's beaten guys like Shawn Michaels, Triple H, CM Punk, Edge, Batista.
Right.
But
he said his name.
Brock Lesnar beats him. Oh, but he can't beat John Cena, and John Cena has been beaten by Orton, Batista, he who should not be named.
Yeah. Stevie Richards.
It just would not make sense. It would not make sense for WWE, and plus, WWE the IWC would go nuts. Okay?
Right.
So just have Lesnar win it. John Cena cannot retain at SummerSlam. Trust me, that would just add to like this irritation I have of Cena, ever since he embarrassed Wyatt and
And I don't think Rollins winning the title would actually take the heat away to the point that people are going to be like, oh, now I forgive WWE,
Yeah, no, you can go ahead.
It'll be IWC Logic 101, pretty much. To be honest.
So just have Lesnar have Lesnar win it, have him hold it until have him go undefeated, like no one can beat him, and have Bryan be the guy. He comes back at the Royal Rumble, David and Goliath, and he wins it. Or maybe another triple threat.
I don't think that Bryan should beat Lesnar on the first try. I think that the first match Lesnar should win. Like I said, he should be stripped from the championship if he's going to win the title. And go on in an undefeated streak for like 2 years, and then like build somebody up to the point that he is a threat to Lesnar, not a guy that's coming back from injury, who's anybody that comes back from injury, he's not 100% ever. So beating Lesnar at not 100%, what does that tell you about Lesnar?
Absolutely.
So I don't think that Bryan should beat Lesnar, not on the first try at least.
Unless maybe they do something where, okay, at Survivor Series, Lesnar's gonna defend the title against whoever, Bryan, Rollins, whoever. But just when Brock Lesnar has him beat, the Undertaker's gong goes off, and they have a rematch from WrestleMania, and then Undertaker can avenge that one loss he has.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Or maybe Sting can interrupt Lesnar and be like, "Hey, Lesnar, you're an asshole," and then you.
And I don't. I think that the only way to bring the Undertaker back and make it interesting is if he had a retirement match against Lesnar at the next WrestleMania. I know the last one, and not a lot of people liked it, but if they did that, a retirement match, then there's going to be a lot more emotion in that one. And plus, there's a reason for Undertaker, fighting Lesnar, and that is he wants to redeem his loss. And plus, I don't think anybody mentioned this. Undertaker never beat Lesnar. Lesnar is 4-0 against Undertaker.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yep, he is. He is.
Imagine at WrestleMania 31 we got John Cena versus Sting and Rock versus Undertaker.
That could be though. For 31.
It could be Cena Rock 3.
Oh,
I mean,
hell no.
I know that WWE's thinking that.
I struggled. I was there 29. I struggled through seeing Rock Cena 2.
Yeah. I struggled through their first match.
Next topic.
Yeah. So, what happened after that?
How about them? Okay, let's talk about Eva Marie beating AJ Lee via roll-up.
Oh man. AJ selling a roll-up, a not even effective roll-up, because AJ looked dead, and she could have gotten out of it. You can tell.
Eva Marie is probably one of the biggest idiots of the Divas since Sable.
You know what's funny, right? You know what's hilarious? Okay. Apparently, what was it called? NXT last Thursday, right? Not Paige. Eva Marie competed against Bayley.
Bayley, yeah. She
People were chanting, "You can't wrestle," this and that, and when Bayley beat Eva Marie, people were chanting, "Thank you, Bayley." Apparently, reports where she went backstage and cried. Here's my thing, right? If you are in the business of entertainment and you're gonna cry every time people give you shit, then you don't belong in the wrestling business.
Not at all.
This is not for you.
Trust me.
It's a cutthroat business.
If John Cena had that kind of logic, he would have been out long ago.
I have no problem her being on NXT. I think that's where she belongs. In all honesty, she belongs on NXT.
Not on TV though.
No. She belongs in the Performance Center being trained right now. That's where she needs to be right now. She needs to be on NXT, perfecting her craft. And that's a long, improve. Okay, let me rephrase. Improving her in-ring ability. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, how many women have we seen that we thought could not wrestle for shit?
Michelle.
Prove us wrong. Yeah, Candice Michelle. That's one.
Trish Stratus.
Trish.
Yep. Lita had one move when she started.
Michelle McCool, Layla.
Right.
Kelly during her final run.
Even Melina.
Even Kelly in her final run.
Right.
So I think, again, with Eva Marie, she needs to really just go, you know what, do Total Diva, that's fine. You can be on Total Divas, but don't be on, Raw and SmackDown competing. You need to improve yourself a little bit more.
Don't take up time that other divas could be using.
Because, also, AJ Lee loses credibility here. In my opinion, she loses a lot of credibility losing to Eva Marie.
No, because if it was a straight up match, it would have been one thing.
Because technically speaking, right, Eva Marie's she's eligible for a title shot now.
Right.
She beat a champion. You realize that, right? It's like, holy crap, really?
Well, no, because if it was a regular one-on-one match, that would have been one thing. But the reason why AJ lost was because of Paige interrupting. So you could argue that this was just, another notch in the feud. So it's not just like, oh yeah, now Eva Marie's gonna be a future contender. No, they only did this because to build up the Paige AJ Lee feud. Like now, Paige screwed AJ Lee.
Hmm.
Well, a win is a win, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
Because there have been numerous times where guys have gotten pinned by other people because another person interrupted. Remember the Rock Hurricane match? And Stone Cold Steve Austin interfered, and the Hurricane pinned the Rock. Did you
Yeah,
see
but
the
Rock
Hurricane
wasn't
win
champion.
any world champion? Nope. The Hurricane can become, yep, but the Hurricane still pinned a well-known wrestler.
Yeah, but we're talking
And
about
the Hurricane
AJ
never
being
became.
champion, though. I mean, remember Dolph Ziggler beating Wade Barrett when he was Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown? Then he got a title shot like 3 days later.
Did he win the title though?
Still, he got a title shot. Eva Marie having a title match? Come on, cringeworthy.
And plus,
On Raw.
WWE, they're not gonna do this. They're not gonna do this. They're not gonna give AJ Lee a Divas title match. Maybe they're gonna keep this Paige AJ Lee thing going, but that's about it.
And who to say they might? Think about this. They want they want eyeballs on Total Divas, right?
Right.
Cause think about this too, right? Think about this also. Once season 3 of Total Divas hits, the focus will be once again on Total Divas.
Right.
So every girl on Total Divas will be getting pushed to the fucking moon.
But if they're going to do that, then the only person I see winning the Divas title is Brie, because she's in an important storyline with Stephanie, and then once that blows off, then she's gonna go for the Divas title.
Funny you mentioned Brie. The next
Right.
segment.
Next topic.
Yeah.
You guys can hear me now, right?
Yes, we do,
Yeah.
Mr.
All
Perry.
right. My mic cut off or something for some reason. Next topic we had was the whole thing about a certain affair that a certain world champion had, apparently. Stephanie McMahon goes out to the ring and says that she always does what's best for business. She brings up Daniel Bryan's neck injury, saying that her, is it a physical therapist?
Yeah.
Her name was Megan. Apparently, I couldn't catch the last name. And
When the
it all
girl
came-
had her hand on her stomach, I was thinking that they were gonna go for the, I'm pregnant and Daniel Bryan is the dad.
As
I've gotta
soon
go,
as I
baby.
heard her name, as soon as I heard Stephanie say, "Oh yeah, this physical therapist and everything," as soon as I heard it, I'm like, no. All you spent the last 2 months, I'm sorry, since Payback promoting this Brie Stephanie fight, and you're gonna throw it all away to say that Daniel Bryan had an affair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about this match anymore. This one segment made me lose interest in this match.
I agree, but I think that the payoff was actually smart because it was a cool way to lure Brie and do a Brie getting her comeuppance from what happened 2 weeks ago. But we'll get to that after.
Do you think that it's worth it though, considering what the real life news with the chasing down the burglars and everything, and they're trying to ruin his image and everything, obviously?
I don't think that they're trying to do that. I think that it was just it wasn't a key to the storyline. It was just a way to lure Brie in. It's not. I don't think it's gonna play out that Bryan cheated on Brie. You're gonna forget about it like next week. They're not gonna even talk about that.
That's gonna be this is a perfect example of WWE kind of keeping away from continuity.
It's funny too, but regarding Claire Lynch, she was trending Twitter the whole episode of Raw.
And plus,
Wow.
Who is it? Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels. He tweeted that no, me and Cesaro did not think of the whole thing. No, we didn't. But here's the thing, like the whole thing with Claire Lynch, that shit lasted for like what, weeks?
Months, yeah.
A month. This whole thing they did on Raw, I see it lasting for like that one episode, and then that will be it.
I hope that during the Stephanie and Brie match, we get an AJ Styles chant or a Claire Lynch chant, where it's like, "We want Claire, we want Claire."
And plus, this whole thing of like, oh, he cheated on me, or that's been around in wrestling since forever. Like the first time he did it was with Taker in '02, and then TNA ripped it off, and then WWE ripped it off, and then,
It's been done since 1992 with Elizabeth and
no,
Ric Flair.
exactly. When Ric Flair was like, she was mine before she was yours, Savage.
Right.
Exactly. What about me? What about me? She slapped the
That
fuck out of
promo
him.
was cool, man. Like when Ric Flair was all like, she was mine before she was yours. And then,
Woo!
and then, and then, and then he's at the bar or whatever, and he's showing the pages. Look, here's me and Elizabeth in the pool. Here we are in the house. Here we are on the couch that we spent more time on. Like Ric Flair was cool back then, man. He was.
It was like 41 at the time, I think.
So you guys don't see this carrying on to being its own storyline?
No. I think that was just a one-time thing that they wanted to do, just to sort of say, hey, Stephanie McMahon is got Brie in her hands now. Now Brie's in prison now.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that scene right after that.
And I think this is a one-time thing. I really don't see this continuing unless WWE creative just let's keep it going. I doubt it.
Again, you never know with these people. Wouldn't put it past them, I
Right.
just wouldn't put it past them.
I mean,
So
That
what
was a
happened
crappy
after that?
are you guys excited for this match at all?
I just feel like
Nah.
it's more of an angle than a match. It's more like an
Mhm.
angle.
Yeah, like people are gonna like it just for the drama of it.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a heel turn.
And Nikki
I
just
don't think so.
Do you guys see the Nikki Bella heel turn? I certainly do.
I wouldn't put it
I
past
think
them.
that
Once again,
Stephanie's gonna embarrassed again because she likes that. She likes being at the short end of the stick every single and like whenever she can be.
I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Vicky Guerrero interferes in the match and she screws
Could
Brie
happen.
like the same way Big Show did when he screwed John Cena at was it Over the Limit? Was it Bragging Rights?
Over
I
the
think
limit.
it was Over the Limit, like the same way like that where Vicky Guerrero comes back, she's got Stephanie by the hair, everyone's cheering, yeah, Vicky, and then she screws Brie and like, oh,
I hope that doesn't happen though. I hope that we just end the storyline. It's been great. They just don't need to overdo it. They just need to end it at SummerSlam. Brie wins, and then off to the sunset with Stephanie.
See,
or maybe
where do you
maybe I
go
just want
from
to
where do
get
you
back.
go from that though? Where do you go from beating the best heel in the company right now? And that's arguably enough. That's not even arguably. I still think Stephanie is the best heel on TV right now.
she is.
I agree.
Absolutely, she is. Absolutely, she is.
In a
right now.
way, I still think that it's Lesnar, but since he's a part timer, I go with Stephanie.
She
But
has to be
where do
the
you
best.
where do you go other than the Divas Championship? And I still see this thing with AJ and Paige kind of keep going for a while.
Bree's gonna be in the mix like a triple threat and fatal four ways, and she's
Unless
gonna get the
maybe-
title, then Paige
Do
gonna
you
go
guys-
after her because
do
AJ's
you
not
guys-
been working.
Do you guys see her slowly being the Daniel Bryan of the division, as in
Here's
taking
my-
it over from the bottom up?
Here's my concern now. My thing is, who is to say that while Bryan is recovering, Brie gets super over, more over than fucking Daniel Bryan, so that when Bryan comes back, he has the Mark Merrill effect, where Marvelous Mark at one time was, he was the hottest thing in the company or at the time. I'm not saying he's still cold hot, but at the time, he was over at least, and then his wife took over pretty much, and he came back, he was fucked.
I doubt that would happen though, because back in those days when Mark Merrill was around, the WWE was allowed to show more sexual content with Sable, and that's how Sable got over from her looks. I doubt Brie can get over to such a degree that she's more popular than Daniel Bryan, because
Right.
now with the modern women's wrestling, it's not really none of the divas can get over more than any of the guy wrestlers. They would cheer more for John Cena than for any of the divas.
And
Or
I do
back in
believe
the
that she's
90s,
gonna
that's
be
different.
booked like Bryan, but she's not gonna get over like Bryan.
Maybe at a
Um,
decent level, but when Daniel Bryan comes back, they're gonna be like, "Who's this chick?"
You never know, bro. It could happen.
I
In the
think
90s, yeah, but
yeah, Sable was hot though, and she had charisma in a way. And she didn't talk that much. She's like, "Look at my tits." But Brie, she talks too much, and when she talks, all credibility's out the window. She's got the Roman Reigns effect, you know.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yep.
But you can't argue though that both of them, whether or not you have the Roman Reigns effect at all, you're still over. Brie's
Yeah.
still over.
She's over when she doesn't talk.
But let me ask you this: is she over because of being Daniel's wife, or because
Yep.
she's on the opposite side of Stephanie?
Both.
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 Do you think more so than the other? I think Stephanie more so than the other.
I think, yeah,
Because
and whenever
Nikki-
she breaks out the yes chant, it gets her over as well. She's,
Because
I don't think
Nikki's
she's
with John
over
Cena,
because
I mean.
she's Brie Bella.
I mean, Nikki's with John Cena. Like, is Nikki gonna get over because of that?
I don't know, no.
And plus, the only reason they did Brie and Stephanie was just because they don't want Daniel Bryan to do the whole thing with Stephanie. It's like, you know, they want to have two females go at it, and so it could have been any of the divas. It just happens to be Brie
Yeah.
because she's with Daniel Bryan, who happens to be feuding with Stephanie. It was just right place, right time.
Right. And that's been like the Bella's luck for the past few years. They're always been in the right place at the right time, and they took a hiatus, came back at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, when the TV show came out, totally was.
Yeah.
And now
So.
both Nikki and Brie are with two of the most over guys in the company.
Right.
So it's like,
Number one,
of
number
course,
two.
when you're with John Cena and Daniel Bryan, that's it. And they're sisters too, because it's like now if they both have kids, they're gonna be cousins. So it's like, yeah, my dad is Daniel Bryan, my uncle's John Cena.
Yep.
Imagine that.
Most popular kids in class, right? Sure.
Yeah, my dad's Daniel Bryan and my uncle's John Cena.
And Bryan is not gonna fade away. Neither will John Cena. They're gonna still be like relevant 50 years from now.
John Cena is definitely gonna be relevant. I bet you those people that are booing him now are going to be cheering for that man when he goes in the Hall of Fame, just like with The Rock. Watch, because they
Right.
booed The Rock at one point. They were saying
Yeah.
Rocky sucks, die Rocky, die. Now look at him.
I think more people just troll Cena just because it's cool to.
It's cool
boo
to hate
Cena.
him.
It's not because they
Cool to
hate
give
Cena.
people shit.
Yeah.
Because it's WWE, you know, we need to give shit to WWE because they're the big company and ooh, they're so evil. Evil Vince McMahon.
Right. It's
We
like the
support
reason why they were
lower
booing Rock,
company.
because most people are like, oh, he's gonna leave us again because he's gonna go back to Hollywood. But you know, there's still some chance out there.
But the thing is, like, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin walked out on the company twice. John Cena never walked out. He never left and went to Hollywood.
With
saying he's a rock dude.
Austin, he was more of a rebel, and he was like, people are like thinking, oh, that's a rebel thing to do, to walk away from work. I wish I could do that. Whenever my boss is just getting on my nerves, I just walk out.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
One of the times was because he wouldn't put Coach over.
No, he didn't want to put Lesnar over the first time. The second time away, he didn't want to put Coach over.
It was going to be a Raw It was going to be a King of the Ring qualifying match on Raw. It was going to lose to Lesnar clean. Think about that. 2002.
Who, Austin?
Yeah.
I mean, it
'Cause
didn't
remember,
make sense.
And plus, regarding the whole leaving thing, like, if I was working for WWE, I probably would have left after that first hour just because of the amount of assholes that are working backstage.
Right.
Because you hear these stories on the internet about how, oh, this one guy has heat because he didn't shake someone's hand. That's the biggest diva shit I've ever heard in my life.
Because
The Young
was
Bucks?
that about the Young Bucks?
Oh,
Not just them, it's like, oh, they didn't shake Booker T's hand. Who gives a fuck about
That's why they didn't get
Yeah.
hired by WWE.
fucking diva Booker T? Like, don't get me wrong, I respect Booker T for what he did. But it's like, oh, I'm going to be D-pushed, I'm going to get fired because, oh, I forgot to shake someone's hand. Like, they earn it, you know, just because they wrestled. Ooh. I
But
wrestled
that's
too.
like really old school. Because
That's
back
that
then,
diva
even
mentality
like
shit.
back in the 80s, a lot of people were de-pushed because one guy didn't like him. You know, even if it was like a mid-carder, like maybe Honky Tonk Man or
The Patriot.
you know, yeah, the Patriot. Yeah, he was gonna get the main event spot, but I don't know who didn't like him.
I think it was.
I think it was Sean.
I think it was Sean. It was Sean. Yeah.
And the thing is,
I heard the Cornette shoot about it.
And Jericho was gonna get the main event spot as well. He was supposed to be in the Fatal 4-Way of WrestleMania 2000, but Triple H didn't like him.
No,
And
people forget
he's like, I don't think he's ready.
Kurt
Even
was supposed to be
he just debuted, and a lot of people were into Jericho.
People forget Kurt was supposed to be the first ever undisputed champion.
Mm-hmm.
no, but Kurt Angle rejected that. He said no,
Yeah.
that's the other guy. He made that choice.
Yeah.
So no, he wasn't held back. He made that choice.
But it's kind of asinine of guys like Punk and Austin to just leave. If you don't like something, guess what? You've got Stroke. Austin is like the top guy at the time. He could have said, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to do something else.
The thing
And
is, though,
It's
Vince would
understandable.
have said, all right.
It's understandable for him to get angry though, because he was promised the main event spot at Mania.
the thing with that too, though, like again, Vince McMahon has the final word. So no matter
Yeah.
what, it's one thing, what you want. You want this, you want that. But at the end of the day, Vince has the final. It's not like it's WCW where what idea you have has to go through mad people.
But still, dude, I mean, do you think it's Vince's idea to have Hogan win at the end of WrestleMania 9?
You never know, bro. It could be.
I mean, it could have been.
It could have been nudged to him, and like Hogan said, I'm gonna leave if you're not going to give me the title. Because remember, at the time he was saying that I've had enough of wrestling. And with Austin, he could have said the same thing. He could have said, I'm gonna walk away if you're not gonna give me a better match, or
Is that
build this up even more.
if I was Vince and someone who works for me comes up to me and is like, hey, I should get the, I would be like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? I'm Vince McMahon. I've owned this shit since my dad died. Fuck you.
But dude, still, isn't it been said like around the locker room and everywhere else that Vince likes competition, and whenever somebody speaks up and tells Vince that, hey, this is bullshit. Like remember Daniel Bryan when he was wrestling Randy Orton and he got concussed and they stopped the match, and then Daniel Bryan was shouting at Vince saying, you're not supposed to do that. I've had worse concussions in indies, and I continued my matches. You're not supposed to do that. And Vince likes that, and that's the reason why Daniel Bryan got that spot.
He likes guys with balls. And, what were we talking about?
I don't even know anymore, to be honest.
I think it was Brie Bella. It was Brie
Yeah.
Bella first.
They just got to Vince and Austin and just.
Yeah.
And again, I told ya. I mean,
Let's talk about Bruno.
Oh, Bruno, yeah, he was a great wrestler, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk
He's
about
dead,
99
man. What a great.
Let's talk about 9.99, man, on the WWE Network, man.
Yeah, $9.99 on WWE Network.
Damn,
All right.
I forgot how much
Where
that
you
was
can see 65% of the WWE library.
on YouTube.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
I have gotten tweets from WWE Network still saying that they do plan on putting like every Raw up.
They should make it a big deal where every week they're like, okay, we're adding this, like Saturday night's main event, and then
I don't understand. I don't understand some people's wrestling logic. Like this is something that wrestling fans, even when they were kids, they've been wanting for the longest time.
Right.
And now they got it, and now they're bitching about it because it doesn't have what they want or something.
But the thing is, like, for WWE to go from, being the
they're
little
going
family
out of their
company-
they're going out of their way to post their entire video library up so you can watch whatever you want for $9.99 a month.
Mhm.
Not everything.
Is that too much? Is that too much? Oh, because you can torrent all of it? Because you can get it all for free illegally?
And
Yes.
but with WWE, like, for them to have their own network where you can see so much of their stuff, and to see where they started off from when they were, at one point they were at risk of being put out of business from WCW. But
Mhm.
now they have their own network. And
But dude, guys, here's the thing though. With wrestling fans nowadays, they're not interested in the history.
And
Like, I've got friends nowadays who are like, "Oh, you're watching this boring match? You know, there are no moonsault, there are no multiple flips and jumps to the outside, and the crowd is bored, and it's just a dingy arena. It's not like nowadays,
You
you
don't
know?"
need that to have a good match. You don't have to jump out of the ring to have a good match.
plus,
Yeah,
as good as like some of the indie companies are, I don't know because I don't watch them. It's like no wrestling company in this country can match the legacy and just like this hold that the WWE has on wrestling. I
right,
know it sounds like that's blasphemy, but it's like the WWE is the big guy in wrestling, and like
right.
it's the most common thing out there. Like you can watch Ring of Honor if you want, but good luck trying to find a channel for it.
Hmm.
It might have good wrestlers, but do they have entertaining superstar? Like yeah, Kevin Steen, real
Or you can
Right.
always go on, ROH.com and just watch
and plus
TV.
Yeah, hashtag watch ROH.
Or if
and
you
plus I
Oh,
find
watch
it
man.
wrestling.ch and just watch their episodes.
and plus I find it kind of ironic when my friends on Facebook will post about smart this, smart that, but yet they constantly kiss Ring of Honor's ass on my Facebook page, and it's like that's the number one thing Smarks do. They bash WWE, but they praise Ring of Honor. That's the number one thing Smarks like to do.
Sorry.
You're offending somebody in the chat here.
My bad, dude. My bad.
No. Like, here's the thing about it too. Like, here's the thing about it. I'm not a WWE fan. I'm not a TNA fan. I'm not a Ring of Honor. I'm a wrestling fan.
Hmm.
I think people sometimes forget that too.
I'm not saying anything against that. I don't mind that, but it's like to me, it's like the way WWE has basically evolved themselves from being this little company, little territorial Vince and his wife working in the office to being this global empire, like playing in every country, and they have their own network. They have every wrestling footage from every company except for like maybe TNA or something like that.
Right.
They have AWA footage, NWA, ECW, WCW. They got everything.
Hmm.
And that's because Vince, whether you like him or not, he has his dumb moments, but Vince is the biggest genius of the wrestling world.
I think he's a good idea picker. Like, he has a board that gives him ideas, and he knows which one to pick. He doesn't come up with the ideas himself.
And plus, it's like, you can say how much of a genius Paul Heyman is, or how much of a genius Eric Bischoff is, but at the end of the day, WCW and ECW, they're gone. They're out of business. WWE is still there.
It's number one, people.
Yep.
And Vince, I admit, he has his dumb moments. Vince has some of the stupidest moments, like when he did with Brett and Owen, and when he did with Chris and whatever. But at the end of the day, Vince is the biggest genius of the wrestling world because the WWE is still there. It's still there. No one else is, and everyone else is just scrapping for like the remains, like Ring of Honor or GFW or TNA or CZW or any of these other companies. They're like getting the scraps.
Or New Japan Pro Wrestling. New Japan.
I think that happens though
New Japan
by
is different. They're like
default.
all in another country, so it's like
I think that happens though by default because WCW was going to shit and ECW was just, it wasn't going anywhere. It was just staying in its, regular environment for like years.
the problem
The
with
dingy arenas, and it was just an independent. It felt like an independent show. Never
the
felt
problem
mainstream.
with the thing with ECW. Even if they had not gone out of business, I think they still would have gone out of business just later on because at the time WWE was doing the Attitude Era. They were doing the same thing. So it's like, what could ECW do?
They could have. I think ECW would have still lived on even without a TV deal. They would have just did it for the crowds,
I mean, I
Would
give
have been
credit
going to
to
schools and stuff like that.
I give credit to ECW. It's like the one company that Vince McMahon likes because he hates WCW. He'll never talk about it, but he'll talk about ECW. He'll put, I remember hearing, I don't know if this is true or not, but when Paul Heyman left WCW, he was going to go to WWE at one point, but he just chose to make ECW instead.
Yeah.
Because Vince McMahon and Paul Heyman, they liked each other.
And in the Paul Heyman DVD, what was going to happen was WCW, I think it was Jim Crockett who said he was just going to sit at home and ask, going to sit there and bitch and moan and say that the wrestling business needs to change while you're sitting at home and just sucking on your thumb or something like that. And that's when he decided to go to ECW and make it to compete against WCW. But that never happened.
You gotta give credit to ECW for that, at least for trying to give some people something different than the regular WWF, WCW stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk about Paul Heyman on like a later video, but let's talk about Raw.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys could go hours and hours upon that stuff. But forgot it was my review.
5 hours, baby.
Oh man.
Next matchup we had Jack Swagger versus Cesaro. Pretty good match here. Obviously.
What are they doing with Cesaro?
Because Alberto Del Rio's out.
Yeah, that's true. It probably is because Del Rio's out.
They keep saying this bullshit like, oh no, we want Cesaro to be the next star. We believe in him. No, believe us. Yeah, you have him lose every week. Goddamn.
You know what it is, bro? Roman Reigns took over the spot.
God damn it, Roman Reigns.
It's all Roman Reigns' fault.
Because I like Cesaro more than Roman Reigns. And it's like,
I think when they have Cesaro job to Reigns, I think that's when people are gonna start hating on Reigns and
just like they hate on
Cesaro.
I think you're putting fans in the corner then.
Mm-hmm.
I can just see it. Let's go, Roman. Roman sucks.
Oh yeah, I do see that coming in the near future.
But you got to admit though, Cesaro looked actually really good tonight.
He did.
They made him look. They made him look a lot better than he has over the last few weeks.
Plus,
despite it just being kind of a job match to make Swagger look good against Rusev this Sunday, in the flag match, which we all know Swagger's going to win, so that Swagger can get a win over Rusev without him going down with a pinfall or a submission or something. We all know that's the reason why the flag was installed. So, what do you guys think about the match?
It was a typical jobber match. I mean, Cesaro looked good, but like, I didn't really get into it. But like, at the end, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what it is with Rusev. He has this thing where he waves the flag, but he waves it like a stupid ass. He just, you know, he's gonna hit someone with that. You know, but that flag, he's doing it right. You know, like.
He's gonna hit Lana and she's gonna fall off the stage.
Word.
Cause look at the way Rusev waves it, like.
Jack Swagger, Cesaro, and the Rusev Swagger feud in general.
I mean, it was an okay match for what it was. I mean, Swagger won. But as far as Swagger and Rusev is concerned, I mean, here's my thing, right? I think Swagger's going to win because it's a stipulation match. It's a flag match. So even if he wins, they'll still consider Rusev to be undefeated because he's not pinned or submitted. Right. And if that's the case, then what happens? After this feud is over with, what's going to be next for Jack Swagger?
Or Rusev.
You keep the feud going so that you let Rusev get the pinfall victory in the feud.
But once the feud ends, though, what's next for Swagger once this feud is over with?
I'm so surprised that Swagger actually getting over on this.
Let's be honest, who would have thought that Swagger would be so more over than Cesaro right now?
Not me.
Like, everyone in the arena just gets up whenever Zeb Coulter says, everyone please rise. And everyone literally gets up and like...
See, I don't know if it's Swagger that's over or if it's the We the People chance. I had the same thing. I had the same thing with Daniel Bryan last year. I didn't know if it was him over or the Yes chance.
And plus, the USA chance has been over since the beginning of time.
But the thing is, like, this whole America versus Russia thing, I'm like, this shit was old even back in the 80s when they had the Iron Sheik and Volkov. They're still doing this foreigner versus USA shit?
The friggin' bullshit.
Like, first off, people in the United States hate the United States as it is.
Well, that's the reason they turned Jinder Mahal, because remember, Mahal was supposed to kind of be like the Indian version of Muhammad Hassan. And they had to change that because they knew they were going to get in trouble for it, so that's when he went to fucking 3MB, so... You know, WWE probably doesn't want to get any more hate on the national scene than they do with the Swagger thing. And now that they're getting it with the Rusev thing, I think WWE right now, they're just pushing it. They really are pushing it with this stuff. So this is just kind of a watered down.
At the Summerslam,
they could get real bad with it. they could get real bad with this feud. They could seriously have you like shitting on each other's flags or something. Because that would have been cool.
Or do what Shawn Michaels did, put in a run right.
Yo, Shawn Michaels, yeah.
Because that would have been cool to do. Because that would have been cool to do in the Attitude Era. Because that's how you get over as in the Attitude Era. You can't do that now. Because now it's going to be seen in the national scene, and then you're going to get hated, and then you're already trying to dig for fans.
I remember Jericho getting fined after throwing the Brazilian flag.
The Brazil thing, yeah. I made a video on that on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
He made the Brazil thing and he like spit in it or something, or
I think he kicked the flag. I remember.
Or he kicked it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all watered down because Swagger and Rusev, especially with the whole gimmick thing being U.S. and Russia, they could get a lot worse than what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're keeping it somewhat tame.
I mean, here's my thing also, though. If Swagger stays babyface, it won't benefit Zeb Coulter because think about this, Coulter is more of a heel than a babyface. So if the idea is to still keep Swagger as a babyface after this feud is over with, what's next for
They might have to split them up or something.
No, you're going to have to do this blow-off where Zeb gets his ass beat at SummerSlam. And people are probably going to say, oh, but, Zeb's an old man, he's a grandfather. But people forget to realize, the guy still wrestles till this day.
Right.
He still wrestles.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So maybe they'll do a blow-off where he gets his ass beat at SummerSlam as well.
You think they might be setting up a Zeb Coulter turning on him?
I don't think so. I mean, it wouldn't make sense.
I think it would happen after the match, though. Like on Raw the next night, so that they can split the feud.
If they really wanted to keep if they really wanted to keep this feud going, and they turned Zeb into how Sergeant Slaughter did, the Iraqi sympathizer.
Right.
First of all, that would be horrible to do in the national scene. But do you imagine how much heat Rusev would get?
I don't think so. I think the heat would be on Zeb, and Rusev would be an afterthought.
Yeah, more likely, yeah.
Yeah, but my idea would be is that after the flag match, distance them away from each other and have Zeb turn on Swagger and realign himself with Cesaro and have Cesaro and Swagger feud again, but with Swagger being the babyface this time.
But here's the thing, though. Cesaro really didn't shine when he had a manager.
I think he did when he
was with Zeb. He was forced. Yeah. He seemed real forced with Zeb.
I don't think so.
Heyman,
the chants were there, and people were into Cesaro.
Heyman with him did absolutely nothing for his career.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They were together for like a few weeks, and then.
Mm-hmm.
They're running. I mean, I guess you can maybe think about turning Swagger, heel, and have him feud with Sheamus. Give Sheamus something to do with the U.S. title,
or have Sheamus turn heel and have Swagger for the title.
Say how Swagger wants his
America.
Swagger wants his America back or something, or set up Rusev and Swagger for the U.S. title, or not Rusev and Sheamus for the U.S. title or something.
Right.
Yeah, but then, where would that put Swagger? Probably, maybe set something up with Cesaro. I mean, these guys work well together, as you saw tonight, so.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys excited for the flag match?
Honestly,
no.
Just say no. Same thing here.
Yeah, I'm on the fences with it. I kind of like their Battleground match because it was alright, but it was too short. I'm hoping that they would have a 10-minute match here. So, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to it.
We all can agree, though, that Swagger's getting the win so that Rusev can still be undefeated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Going off topic with the whole Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins thing, when Dean Ambrose comes out of the present to be on Seth, I swear to God, my cousin came out nowhere and says, "It's Hulk Hogan's birthday, bitch."
That'd been cool.
Titty Master.
Titty Master's here.
And then he beats on Seth.
Give you a lesson in mastering them titties, but
it could be like Hogan rips off his shirt and his man breasts are hanging out, and Dean Ambrose is like, "I'm confused."
Oh
Am I supposed to
no.
match those?
All right. All right, let's move on to the next topic. We had
Yeah,
some
this is
more
getting weird.
tension heating up in the Chris Jericho Bray Wyatt feud. Both men sit in a sit down interview with Michael Cole. Even though Michael Cole was asked to leave by Bray Wyatt as soon as the damn camera started, Bray Wyatt pretty much owned Jericho on the mic, even though Jericho didn't really say too much. Bray said that Jericho.
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like we saw old school Jericho. I'm talking 2009, 2012 Chris Jericho. The one they used to wear.
He looked like just like that.
Yeah, he did.
Even with the beard and the way he kind of puckered his lips, like he looked just like his heel self back then.
Yeah, I would have loved if Jericho would be like this, for the weeks to come. Not even after the Bray Wyatt feud.
Like when Bray Wyatt was talking, Chris Jericho just had this look in his face like this. Like,
And
like this.
I think that Bray, he's been losing a lot of heat, since the Cena feud, and I don't
I
care.
think Jericho will put the guy over.
Yeah,
So at
but
SummerSlam, Bray Wyatt is going to win this match. He has to
yeah,
do
but
off
what
that
does
battleground.
that benefit Bray Wyatt beating Jericho? It's like, oh, I beat Jericho, so what?
Mm.
He lost 2 matches to Cena, including the one at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and with Bray, it's like, and he keeps on laughing, and that really pisses me off because, okay, the guy beat you at Battleground, the guy that you said that, oh, I'm gonna beat, and there's no way he's gonna beat me. This is a sit-down interview, and you're not supposed to be laughing. I know you're supposed to be a maniacal like villain and be crazy and all, but this is the moment where you're supposed to be serious and to the point, not saying freaking limericks. Because this is the thing with Bray. I mean, if he had the championship or he beat Cena in the feud and he was built as this dominant force, then yeah, I would be like, yeah, this guy has a point. But now it's like, who's this jobber?
Here's the thing that I had a problem with. The thing that I have a problem with the Jericho Bray Wyatt feud is the fact that it took a month to actually get this damn thing exciting.
The thing is, like, with Bray Wyatt, like, I just love the way he talks. He talks like this, real cult leader, like, Jericho, I don't need people telling me that I'm a savior, because I'm not. Like, I don't know, I just like the way he speaks. He just sounds so creepy. He can say anything, and it'll sound creepy. I want some bacon with eggs. And you just, I don't know, I just like the way he speaks. But he's a pretty good wrestler, too.
I would have loved if Jericho would break out like on Bray and be like, I'm going to squash you like a gelatinous worm because you're a hypocrite. And then the weird thing is that when Bray started off, he was saying it every single week that I'm the savior, I'm gonna save you guys.
World.
Yeah. And he was like, I'm gonna save you all from Monster Cena. Remember that, before WrestleMania?
I'm still not over that.
This was easily, to me maybe, my most least anticipated match at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
because there was nothing behind it. Because the build up to this was so watered down. You basically spent SmackDown every week trying to build it up.
And plus, we know who's gonna win. I mean, we know Wyatt's gonna win.
Yeah, and they're gonna have a third match
that Jericho probably ends up winning. Or, maybe Bray wins, that's why Jericho goes off for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe have that be the loser leaves Raw, instead of being, Rollins and Ambrose.
And not to have, too many gimmicks on SummerSlam, but...
It gives Jericho more time to, go promote his album, go promote his band and everything. but at the same time, it makes Wyatt still, relevant. Because that's the thing. That's the thing that I liked about tonight was the fact that it kind of opened up more doors for the Wyatt character, and basically it opens doors for Wyatt that he didn't get to open in his feud with Cena. In his feud with Cena, he could have, he probably was supposed to have some sort of lasting effect that he could carry out through his career. Because I think I've said it on here before. I think the entire reason for the Cena feud was to exploit the weaknesses so that you can fix them early and mold this guy into a champion.
But at the same time, it kind of shows you that he's kind of, Bray isn't that intimidating without, the Wyatt family.
He was pretty intimidating tonight.
I don't know.
And I actually liked Wyatt actually using like more of the airtime to talk than Jericho, because I don't think Jericho really had to say a whole lot. Because that's the thing I don't have a problem with. He's like RVD at this point. He's already established. He has nothing left to really, do.
Just to put over the young guys now.
It put over the young guys, exactly. He doesn't have to say anything.
But
He
still,
doesn't
it's
know
not.
who Chris Jericho is.
This promo was to let Wyatt shine on the mic, let him get his career, his credibility back, because once he beats, Jericho at SummerSlam, where does he go from here? The last match with Jericho.
But Bray's character shouldn't be in the mid card. Should be in the main event. That kind of character shouldn't be stuck in the mid card.
You should be able to tolerate it, though, considering that Brock is back.
Yeah, but
you can't have Brock and Bray in the same ring. It can't happen.
It could.
Yeah.
I think
Bray would get this.
that would make Bray legit. That's the only way I see Bray becoming legit, is if he's in the ring with Lesnar.
I would
think
have
it's too early.
paid a lot to see Bray Wyatt and old school Undertaker.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Just saying.
Which one? There's two old school take. Which one do you mean?
The one where he was with the Ministry of Darkness and he would be on the Titans line saying, just crucifying people. And then you had Bray Wyatt who was like, you ain't gonna crucify me, Taker. I'm a eater of worlds and shit. That would work.
Maybe.
Bray Wyatt.
That would work with a lot. That would work with a lot of newer school fans. I don't think that, I mean old school fans. I don't think any of the new school fans would like that.
To me, if Bray Wyatt had came out in the Attitude Era, it would have worked. Just because of how his character is. Maybe it would have been even more out there because they had the TV-14 rating and it would have done a lot more.
The only thing with putting Bray Wyatt in the Attitude Era though is that he would have way too much competition with Mankind.
Oh,
Mankind wasn't that cult leader. He was
There's still a lot of parallels you can draw between the two.
Yeah.
No, seriously,
when it comes to characters, I'm not talking,
the old
wrestling
Mankind.
ability. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking just based on character and what WWE has portrayed it to us on our screens. There's a lot of parallels between Mankind and Bray Wyatt.
The old school Mankind,
Bray
the one
would
who
have
beat his
put
head
his
and
body on the line. We didn't see that yet. Mick Foley would put his body on the line just to, he would even kill himself just to hurt his opponent.
Pretty much. Next topic.
Yeah.
So that's it for Jericho Wyatt.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was an okay segment. Definitely the best one of all, the segments that they've had against each other.
I just feel like he brought back that 2009, 2010 look.
That looked cool.
He did say there's many phases of Jericho. I'm like, all right, cool.
All right. Well, continuing on with the show chronologically, of course, we had Brie Bella go out there for her match with Stephanie, and they were fighting with the confession and everything earlier. Stephanie said she doesn't want her at SummerSlam; she wants her now. Brie went out there for the match, and instead Stephanie went out there and said Megan wants to press charges, so Brie's going to jail. You guys want to talk about that at all, or should we move on to
Here's
Ziggler
what I
later?
think what they should have done there. They should have had Stephanie attack Brie. Because she's
While
handcuffed.
handcuffed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Like, Brie has her back to Stephanie. Stephanie just goes out nowhere and just hits her in the back of the head with the microphone or something. Like, oh, you're handcuffed? Boom.
It could have been like in a way that she would have said, "Oh, they're fake cops," kind of like what Triple H did to Daniel Bryan. Just went away on Brie. But then again, with Brie beating Stephanie at SummerSlam, it would kind of make Brie look like Supergirl.
Wouldn't you think? Well, I don't think necessarily, because we all see her losing to Stephanie anyway.
You never know, bro.
Yeah.
Well, at least I do. I see Stephanie winning. I think that's the only way this can go.
I think long term, Brie is gonna wrestle way more than Stephanie, and with Stephanie being like a non-wrestler, I think Brie is gonna win. Makes sense.
I want Stephanie to win just for the sake of, I don't know what you're gonna do with Brie come after, because you can't put her with AJ and Paige, because that's probably gonna keep going probably for the rest of the year, because there's no real competition in the Divas division right now.
I don't think right so, now, because AJ and Paige has no heat. No one cares about them anymore.
Not yet, because Battleground really did a number on the rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bad match. There was nothing. There was no story told. Nothing was, showed at all. And I think what could be done, because right now I think Paige and AJ is at a pretty good point right now to kind of take over the Divas division, at least for right now. Let the Divas division kind of make a little comeback, like a little rejuvenation, and then have Brie and Nikki as like the secondary feud. I'd much rather see that than Cameron and Naomi every week.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That's definite.
Yeah.
Especially, and here, this is another thing I didn't really like about the Brie Bella thing from today.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that it actually did a number on Brie's character already, because it seemed like she was playing a secondary role in her own storyline. Because she's only in this fucking feud because of Daniel Bryan. She's standing up for Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many cooks in the kitchen in her own feud.
Right.
She's not even a spotlight star in her own feud.
Mm-hmm.
This feud is supposed to be so that Brie can, I guess, what am I trying to say? I guess make something of herself in the Divas division.
Right.
And she's playing a secondary role. She's playing a supporting role in her own storyline.
Right.
Because all the spotlight is on Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing I don't like about this.
I mean, they had to find some way to keep Daniel Bryan relevant, or at least have fans still know about him when he comes back.
Pretty much.
So that
But if he's got so much star power, he shouldn't have to anyway. I mean, yeah, you can give out the weekly updates or so and everything, and then that's fine.
That would turn him heel, though. Remember Randy Orton when he had the shoulder injury back in 2002?
That was the thing. I think Randy Orton even said, like, "Oh, I'm sure you guys actually care about my injury and everything, so I'm going to interrupt everything."
Yeah.
With Daniel Bryan, he's over enough. I'm sure fans care.
Yeah, but it's one of those things that if you wait it out, and once he comes back, people are going to miss him so much that when he returns, it's going to be like a pleasant surprise. It's way better
That's why I say keep him off TV.
Yeah.
Because you're really hurting Brie's credibility, especially if this is supposed to be her storyline.
Mm-hmm.
This is supposed to be her getting her hands on Stephanie. This is not supposed to be, oh, I'm getting revenge on Daniel Bryan. No. It shouldn't be like that.
Right.
She should not be, and I've been saying this is my entire argument. She should not be playing a supporting role in her own storyline.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main thing.
Right.
Yep.
Anything else? Nobody else want to say anything?
They should just end it at SummerSlam. I hope this doesn't go on though. It's been great as it is. I just hope that the bookend is at SummerSlam.
I still think Nikki joins the Authority. That's how Steph wins.
I think so too. I mean, if you think about it too, I mean, who would say Nikki Bella can lure Cena to turn heel if Nikki joins the Authority?
I think it's gonna look like Nikki is going to join Stephanie, but then in a swerve, she's still with Brie, and then turns on Stephanie, and then Stephanie looks like a fool, you know? Because I mean, come on, you look at it in a way that why would Nikki join the Authority after Stephanie being, she's been abusing her for weeks, and plus she got attacked 2 weeks ago by Stephanie, and you think that Nikki's really gonna swallow that?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's like TNA logic. If she
because she still could, she could still be brainwashed by what Steph said last week. Oh, Brie, you're hogging my spotlight. You're making a name out of yourself at my expense. You're overshadowing your sister on the reality show.
But that's different though. That's not like Jake Roberts and Undertaker, where Jake Roberts is telling them, this is what you're doing wrong. It's not. You look at Jake Roberts and Undertaker, and then you look at what's going on TNA with James Storm and Sonata, and he's slapping him around, and he's like, "Oh, you're being brainwashed by the Great Muta," and smacks him, and he's like, "Yeah, you need to listen to me." I mean, come on. That's.
But it gets James Storm over. But it gets James Storm over as a heel, which he needs, because when he turned on Gunner, he's still getting face reactions.
A stiff Japanese guy, dude. You gonna slap a stiff Japanese wrestler? That's like Stone Cold going to Japan and smacking friggin'
Tanahashi.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you need to listen to me. Jushin Thunder Liger is brainwashing you." And it's like, no, you're not gonna listen to that guy.
Makes for good business.
Unless it's money. That's always a storyline that WWE loves using. That's like Nikki is forced to do that, or else she's gonna get fired, or she's under Stephanie's pay.
I think it's because she realizes that Brie was being selfish.
I don't know.
And that's why she turns. But next topic.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler, Heath Slater. We can talk about that for a couple minutes, I guess, because it's not really worth a whole lot.
Slater's getting over.
People were chanting Slater, man.
Yeah, we were commercial break. Hey, Slater.
And then, because of the Miz interrupting or trying to interfere, Slater wins by count out. He won by count out.
Yeah.
And they try to do the whole handshake. They try to do the whole handshake thing when Slater tries to kick at Dolph Ziggler, then Dolph Ziggler does his zigzag and to hype up the SummerSlam match.
Mm-hmm. But they kind of they really dodged a bullet there, because if Ziggler was the one that attacked Slater and was unprovoked, then the fans would have turned on Ziggler right there.
No, they wouldn't.
I think they would have.
Fans love Ziggler way too much.
Yeah, but they may be chanting Slater
at the same time, Slater's the new hot underdog.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if that's what they want to do with Slater now, since McIntyre and Mahal are gone, they might have Slater be this new underdog character that get everyone behind him. But even if Ziggler would have done something, they wouldn't have booed him. He's way over than Slater is at this point, at least. And plus, they had to come up with something to hype up the IC title match.
Right. I think they're building up Heath Slater because I believe that Ziggler's not going to win the IC title. I believe Miz is going to retain. And
I'll be honest.
Heath Slater's going to be built up to the point where he's going to face Miz. Maybe like he's going to be 6-0 or something like that, and then he's going to face Miz at Night of the Champions for the IC title.
I personally feel like, with Heath Slater, right now, you could say, oh, he's on a roll, but honestly, WWE right now needs a body to fill in, and that is
Hmm.
what Heath Slater is right now. Don't be.
Right.
Let's put it this way: people a couple weeks ago when fucking Zack Ryder defeated Fandango, everyone thought, "Oh my God, Zack Ryder's back, ladies and gentlemen," and look what happened.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't get your hopes up, to be honest.
He was there to prove a point.
Zack Ryder is like probably the most saddest story in WWE. This is the guy who got chanted more than The Rock, and yet here he is. WWE can be such assholes sometimes, man.
But still, Cesaro is a way worse story because Cesaro can be a top
I
guy.
think Ryder's more worse.
Ryder's worse.
Ryder was so over, but because WWE was filled with such morons, they couldn't keep this shit going. So they just said, okay, fuck it, put it back in the jobber. Even though this guy had
But
his
where
name
do you
chanted
see
more than The
Ryder
Rock.
being?
I
You
think
know,
is-
he's gonna be stuck in the mid card.
Ryder made a
Yeah.
name for himself on the internet, and people found out about the bullshit and everything, and how it was basically fake.
Hmm.
And that's why fans don't give a shit anymore.
Right.
I think once Ryder won the U.S. title, it was stale. It was dead.
Hmm.
You never should have took the U.S. title off of Ziggler when you did.
Right.
And then when they did for the little feel-good moment in New York or whatever at TLC 2011, supposed to be this big moment, and nobody cared because everyone saw right through the bullshit, and that's why Zack Ryder is where he is right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'd rather have Zack Ryder competing for the IC title right now, to be honest.
No,
Man,
no, he's dead.
It's
With
time.
Dolph Ziggler,
Here's my thing, and I can see why you're saying that. Because to me, here's the thing: if you are a former world champion or WWE champion, there's no reason for you to go chase it. There's no reason for you to go and chase a mid card title. But
Right.
the thing in Zack Ryder's case, his time came and gone.
Hmm.
Zack Ryder is a damaged wrestler that cannot be revived. And that may be harsh thing to say, but that's reality right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a guy that you're just about to just, his time to be released is inevitable. It's gonna happen. Or if not, you know what?
I think though that Zack Ryder needs to change his character.
No.
I mean, you
want
look at
it's
Mark
done.
Henry.
No. You want him to be relevant? Let him do two things. Either A, let him go down to NXT, or number two, have him be on Total Divas. Let him date a diva in real life. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. Right. But at the same time, he can be rebuilt. You know, we've seen a lot of guys that rebuild their careers. You know, even when they're deader than shit. You know, you look at Mark Henry. It took him 15 years to become relevant and actually be a top player. And
All
whenever
right.
he got a chance at the main event, people
Let me
were
ask you,
like,
okay,
yeah,
all right, let me ask you a question.
yeah.
Do you think that
Mhm.
Zack Ryder, by the end of the year, or by 2 years from now, can main event a WrestleMania for the world title and win?
No.
Then there you
Not
go,
not
then.
that much.
And then there
But-
you go then, and there's no really,
But he could be like in the Owen Hart role, where he's
I
like
mean, he
the
was
love.
He's not world championship caliber. First, he doesn't have the look. We can get that out of the way right now.
No, yeah,
You know what they should have done? You know what they really should have done? And this is shame on you, WWE. They should have had both Hawkins and Ryder join the Real Americans and have Zeb have a faction.
hmm
Have Zeb, I've turned these guys' lives around. They were party animals, this and that. Now they're real Americans and shit like that.
So kind of like the straight edge society in a way.
I was
And
just gonna say that.
Kind of, yeah.
It
Or you
would
can
work.
have
I mean, I'm
Zack
sure it would have
Ryder
kept them
as
relevant.
Adam Rose's partner, and because Adam Rose isn't
No.
going anywhere,
No.
and
Adam
putting
Rose
him with
already-
Ryder kind of
Adam Rose is just as
rejuvenate
dead
both
as
guys.
Ryder right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Adam Rose is just dead. I feel, honestly, last week when they played that commercial, that little segment with him in the mirror, I would have rather seen him see Leo Kruger.
That would have been. I think that would have been better.
Absolutely.
I think us wrestling
It would have
fans
teased
think that.
fans who actually know his past and everything. Just to be
Yeah,
like,
but-
hey, he is always out there. There is that possibility to see Leo Kruger on TV instead of this party piece of garbage that we see now. And I've tried to sell myself on Adam Rose, and it doesn't work. I
But
can't
the thing
do
is,
it.
though, I got to see him in the latest episode of NXT, and he was teaming up with Sami Zayn, and
That's the
he had the
difference.
best match he had in I don't know, 3 years
Okay, you wanna know why?
because of Sami Zayn.
Because he's surrounded with Sami Zayn, Justin Gabriel, and Tyson Kidd. Three workhorses.
And it's the NXT crowd, and he's much over there.
And number two, you can't expect Sami Zayn and Adam Rose to win the tag titles because number one, Adam Rose is a guy who's currently on the main roster, and reports are going in also that Sami Zayn is on his way up too. And if they both go up, well, if Sami Zayn comes up to the main roster, you would assume that he's going to be a singles wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest too, it's a tag team tournament, so they need bodies to fill. That's a random tag team going to be put in there. I think at the end of the day, the Vaudevillains are going to win the tag titles in NXT.
Right.
I'm thinking Enzo Amore.
I don't know, maybe.
And Big Cass, I'm thinking.
But I think that could be a way for Sami Zayn to debut because they've been having Adam Rose and Zayn, in programs many a times, even in Takeover. They had that little segment, and it looks like they're going to build up Zayn as like, oh, he's Adam Rose's friend, and one day you're gonna see him part of the party crew, and he's gonna help out, Rose, and that's how they're going to go, in the tag division. Because look at the tag division right now in WWE. There are only four teams I can mention right now, and they're stale.
But here's the thing with Rose, the difference between Rose and Ryder, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
I tried to sell myself on Adam Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Because I thought it was original. I thought it was cool. I was like, okay, this could work.
Mm-hmm.
And WWE was serious about it. And then Santino happened. And then that stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
WWE needs that comedy role. Bam, Adam Rose is there.
But the thing though, guys,
Adam Rose right now is the new Santino. With Zack Ryder, I didn't care at all. I was one of the only people on here that didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I saw everybody in the free world making Ryder Revolution videos because I was on here in 2011. I saw all that.
Right.
I saw everybody making woo woo woo, you know it, bro. All these fucking videos and everything, trying to, persuade everybody as their fans of Ryder. I never was.
But you got to look at this this way, because Ryder, right after the entrance, the fans were dead. They weren't chanting for Ryder. They wouldn't care for Ryder. Like, his matches were boring, but the only thing I remember him doing is, the kick in the corner, and the fans would go woo woo woo, and that's it. No one would care throughout the match. But going back to Adam Rose, us wrestling fans don't care about Rose that much, but you gotta look at it this way. Mainstream audiences who are new to wrestling, they like this guy. I know guys who don't know anything about wrestling, and even girls who think that, oh, this guy is cool because Ruffle brand,
The thing is that you can't compare girls to hardcore fans. You just can't, though.
Yeah, but that's a wider audience, though. You're introducing more people, and that's always good for business. When anybody that sees this, they're like, oh, this guy's cool. I want to hang out with him. And sometimes they would go too into the storylines, even to the point where, hey, they think that it's real. I know, 2014, and people still think that wrestling is real.
It's not as much anymore, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I tried, I've tried to get myself on Adam Rose, and it just didn't work for me.
And I still have hope for the guy, but right now
I can't say that. I can't say it honestly. I honestly think when Santino left, it was over.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Rose was dead in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was the only one capable of keeping up the comedy character besides Heath Slater.
Right.
And at the time, Slater was in his little feud with the Matadors, and I can't stand them right now anyway, but that's beside the point.
I think nowadays people get over with their matches more than their promos. You look at Ziggler, you look at Cesaro, and those guys got over with their wrestling ability. I think what they need to do with Adam Rose is let him out there and let him have a good match.
Perfect
10-minute,
example.
15-minute match.
Perfect example of an opposite of what you just said, Bray Wyatt.
Right.
Perfect example. Guy who gets his promos over than his matches.
Yeah, but people don't care about Bray Wyatt anymore. Remember back then when
that's not his
they were
fault.
Actually into Bray Wyatt, but now they're chanting what?
That's not his fault.
Matches?
That's not his fault.
Yeah, that's WWE, but it's their fault, and this is the reason why Bray is so watered down. And I just wish that he would be given a better opportunity. And this is why I say that Adam Rose needs to be given a chance, because I do believe he can be a star. Not main event. I don't think that he could be a main event just yet. But in the mid card, I think he can do wonders if given the chance.
All right, we're gonna end that off right there. We gotta talk about the main event match at least. Sheamus versus Randy Orton.
Boring.
I didn't watch any of it. Did you, any of you?
Boring.
Yep.
Except for at the end.
The ending was great.
Reversing an RKO into the win or something like that. I didn't see it.
And Orton is the most interesting he has ever been since God knows how long. I really kind of like this new Orton, where he's kind of like the 2009 version, and a little bit of legend killer in there with him being like arrogant and pointing to the crowd and playing to the crowd. I kind of like that. The cocky veteran, and I'm probably the only guy that's rooting for Orton against Reigns. I know it's the right decision to have Reigns go over, but I'm more of an Orton fan right now.
Yeah.
I don't see any 09 Orton in him. I don't think he's done anything to.
Oh, come on, the beatdown on Reigns, that was awesome.
Yeah, but that doesn't remind me of 09 Orton.
Remember, you're talking about the guy who kicked his head.
If he wanted to remind me of 09 Orton, he'd bring the damn punt kick back and he'd punt Roman Reigns' fucking head off.
Right.
That would remind me
of. It would have been awesome if
Orton.
he kicked Kane in the head and you would have written off Kane rather than bring him back as corporate Kane.
It would have been better, but I don't see any 09 Orton in him right now.
Now, during Raw, they played this promo, a segment, whatever, hyping up main event where the Usos are gonna do an open challenge for their tag titles.
Wyatt family.
And I think this is a good time to bring the Ascension up from NXT.
I wouldn't do it on main event though. If you're serious about a team, I would do it on Raw or SmackDown.
It would definitely bring in the buzz, because I don't think the tag titles are on the line.
Yeah, it is. The Tag Team Championship open challenge.
The problem is, who's going to be the tag team, though? I mean, if you have them face, I don't know, the fucking RybAxel again, then what's the point?
Slater and Titus, then Slater and Peter or whatever.
I think if they broaden the Ascension and have them beat the Usos, whether it's for the titles or not, it's definitely going to bring in the buzz around main event that anything could happen. Kind of like Carlito beating Cena on his debut and winning the U.S. title.
Could be.
Yeah.
Or even when Paige won the title on her first time showing up.
Yeah, but the Ascension is different. They're not like Paige, who won a title of a dead division at the time.
No, it's pretty much the same thing. Tag division's dead right now.
It's still the Wyatt family is still over. The Rhodes brothers are still over, and yeah, but
By default,
some people are still on board with the Rhodes brothers, And
The roads are still relevant because of the Authority storyline. That's the only thing that they're still known for. If they never did that, Cody would have turned on them when he was supposed to.
yeah, but Goldust, I think Goldust is still over. Like a lot of people still love Goldust. I mean, I still remember like when he returned at the Royal Rumble and the fans went nuts.
Goldust is always going to be like that
Yeah.
because he's a
So
normal face.
right, and a lot of people are still into that. So I think the tag division is a lot more people are on board with it because of the Wyatt family. A lot of people like them, and they like the Usos, and they like the Rhodes brothers, and even Ryback. Not Curtis Axel, but Ryback. A lot more people are into him now. Um, and if you bring up the Ascension, a cool, in your face, smash mouth tag team that kind of reminiscent of Demolition and the Road Warriors look wise, like two big guys who just dominate. I think they would get over, and plus their entrance is amazing. You know?
Of course.
True.
Yeah.
All right,
And
we're going to
nowadays,
end.
the entrance is like 50% of the character.
Pretty much, you're right. All right, we're going to end the review off talking about the ending of the show, Hulk Hogan's birthday party. We had Mean Gene and Jimmy Hart introduce Hulk Hogan. All the WWE superstars and divas were on the stage showing their respects to the Hulkster. We saw appearances from, who? Ric Flair, Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. The NWO was back together.
Hmm.
Brock Lesnar.
And then once Nash starts singing Happy Birthday, we hear the Beast is back for dessert. He comes back, he comes out. Oh, I said Piper, right? Piper was there.
One thing I'll
Yeah.
say about that though, Paul Orndorff just looked terrible. Holy, oh my god.
He was walking like, I don't know. I felt bad.
Hmm.
Why would y'all let him be exposed to that though? Like, damn, yo.
Right.
I mean,
Man,
it was
that
nice
was-
to see him. I can't lie. It was nice to see him.
That audience
Yeah.
top for Piper, man. I love Piper so much, man. When he came out, I marked out.
I think we all did.
Piper's amazing.
My girl was like, "Is that Zeb Coulter?"
I don't know. You guys all have the network, right? WWE Network.
Hell yeah.
I loved Legends House, and I don't know. This entire segment reminded me of Legends House. Probably
Yes,
because
most of the people that were on there,
probably because of Mean Gene, Jimmy Hart, and Piper. That's probably why. But this entire segment reminded me of Legends House. And if you don't have the network, you don't know what I'm talking about. And you're really missing out.
But you can
Go
get
buy
it,
it, $9.99.
$9.99.
I was hoping that it would be a legit birthday celebration with no Brock Lesnar at the end, because I think with Lesnar coming out and then backing down, it just made him look like a schmuck. He'd come out there and looking at the legends, and he's like, "Oh, I can beat you guys up," and then when Cena came out, he just backed down. And
No,
it's just-
he didn't back down. He just waited till SummerSlam.
still
it
though,
made sense. It made
Lesnar
sense.
shouldn't have been out there either way.
No, it made sense to do it because people are gonna watch because it's Hogan's birthday.
But
And
you could have
can't-
ended the
can't-
show with them just staring at each other rather than have Lesnar.
So you're
go out.
saying that you have to have Lesnar and or Cena involved somehow.
Yeah, and then you can have like security come out, Finley and Joey Matthews and Jamie Noble again.
No, I think they ended it probably the best way possible. Don't make either guy look bad.
Yeah, they could have had like security separate them, and they're just going at it because the build up for their Extreme Rules match was way better. Where security would come out, Cena's mouth is busted open, and Lesnar's just looking like a badass. But here, He's talking about putting Cena in all sorts of torture, and he's gonna be having him laid in his own piss and vomit and blood, and Cena just looks at him and goes, "Come on," and Lesnar's like, "No, no, I'm gonna wait till Sunday." Um, no, I don't like that at all.
Here's the thing. It gets heat on Lesnar without Lesnar actually beating the old guys up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if
I don't
you
know.
wanted to be for real, then because Brock's getting babyface reactions right now. If you wanted to have Lesnar go into SummerSlam and get shit thrown at him and everything, besides Heyman bringing up the streak every time he goes out there, have him go out there and F5 Hogan, F5
People are
Mean
still
Gene,
gonna
F5
cheer for Hogan.
F5
No.
Lesnar.
F5 Flair.
F5 Paul Orner. Oh hell no.
No, you break
Nash.
him in half. You'd break him in half.
F5 Nash.
Dude, I thought he was gonna F5 Roddy Piper because I remember Roddy Piper was mad staring at his face and he like bumped into Piper.
Right.
Dude,
I
Piper got
knew they
balls,
weren't
man.
going to do that because I think they have some sort of legal contract where they're not supposed to hit older guys. Like, because remember Rusev was supposed to beat up Zeb Coulter, but I think there was, I don't know, there was some sort of disagreement. I mean,
Well,
that's
he's
the
not
reason
on
we
a
don't
Legend's
see
contract.
Lawler getting beaten up.
Yeah.
But that was cool though, man. Piper got balls. I remember Rob Lesnar goes up to Roddy Piper. Piper gets right in his face like that.
Hmm.
And all he gets is a little shoulder to the chest.
Yeah. Lesnar really looked like a schmuck here because he just gave him a little nudge and then he looked at Flair and tried to scare him. It just looked like that he was gonna go for a punch, but then like a fakie. And Flair didn't even nudge; he was just looking at him. It's just I don't know. It
The
really looked
segment was
hokey.
fine. I think the segment was fine.
I
Absolutely.
thought it was too much crammed into this. They should
No,
have just.
I think it was. Honest to God, I think it was perfect the way it was. I don't think you could have done it any better.
Hmm.
I'm sold on the match already. There's nothing, to add to it. I'm already sold. I'm gonna watch Lesnar Cena. There's nothing stopping me. I'm gonna watch it. There's nothing like with Brie
I was
Stephanie.
sold
that
when it
whole-
was announced. I mean, this
With-
didn't make me want to see it even more.
with Brie Steph. I just got done on Twitter saying how I was sold. I'm gonna watch Brie Stephanie and everything, and then the whole thing with the fucking physical therapist happened, and then I said, "Fuck this! I'm selling it." Because I don't care anymore. This is a stupid feud now. This is stupid.
Right.
I'm sold on this match. There's nothing that they can do right now that could ruin this feud. I think right now
They
with
could
what
have
they
Cena
did,
win.
no, I honestly think Cena winning wouldn't do too bad. I mean, you guys we were just talking about this before I hit the record button. How it would be
Cena could
way
win,
too similar.
yeah.
It would be way too similar to The Rock.
Hmm.
But at the same time, The Rock also only had to wait 2 months before dropping it to Cena anyway.
Right. And
Whereas
it's a
with
normal
Brock-
match, right? It's like
Where-
there are no gimmicks, so they can
Whereas
have
with Brock-
Lesnar lose by DQ, like ref stoppage.
Yeah, but do you really think people they're really gonna watch a disqualification?
Oh, they're gonna.
There's
shit
gotta
on
be
it.
a serious.
There gonna be a lot
There's
of
got-
bullshit chants.
There's got to be a serious winner here,
Hmm. Yeah.
and there has to be. And I'm leaning towards Lesnar, not for the fact that he's undefeated at SummerSlam, which I completely overlooked until I think I was outside playing basketball and I thought about it, and I'm like, wait a minute, Lesnar's undefeated at SummerSlam.
He lost to Kurt Angle though in 2003.
SummerSlam?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, shit,
Was a
I
title
might
Wasn't
match.
that?
I might have forgot that then.
Yeah, I remember. He went when he turned heel. I remember.
Yeah. And then Vince got Angle slammed on a chair, which was.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind, I remember that now.
I remember like
Yeah.
it was like a cage match with Vince and Brock, and then Brock turned heel in that cage on SmackDown.
He tried to do a nip up and he couldn't do it. I think they did like multiple recordings of that, and then the next week they spliced it in a way that Lesnar actually nipped up, but it looked so hokey live.
But the thing though that I think it was a good segment. I think it was good for what it was.
Hmm.
Lesnar backed down, creating animosity and creating, suspense for the title match. It was good. However,
it was best for business.
Exactly. It was good for $9.99 a month too. WWE Network. But it was also the only thing good on a very boring show.
For a SummerSlam,
it was half good in my opinion. It was like 50-50.
It was very. I think there was nothing. I think this entire review was more entertaining than the entire show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Then again, that's not saying too much considering everybody here got to say what they wanted to say.
Right.
Plus, we have Heel Steven in here, so that already,
Yep. All I gotta say is, man, if Cena wins, he wins.
We riot.
No. I'll say this. You know what? All seriousness. If he wins, that's fine with me. You know why? Because I want to see the whole IWC bitch and complain and cry and moan.
Oh yeah.
That's what I want to see.
I actually want to see Cena win even more now.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, if Cena wins, the internet goes crazy. You know what I'm saying? Put it this way: the internet went ape shit when Michael Cole said, "Oh, John Cena is the greatest WWE champion of all time."
Mm-hmm.
Do people really believe it? No. Technically, yeah, he's a 15-time champion. Means he lost the title 14 times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if
you can have the same argument about Flair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But again, listen, if it happens, it happens.
Right.
What do you really do about it?
I mean, if Cena does retain at SummerSlam, I think I'll just be kind of done with it. Just sort of just saying, like, wow, like they're gonna do another long shit with him.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's Cena, he gets the reaction. It's like, I don't know. So that means that the win Lesnar had at WrestleMania meant nothing.
I mean, it'll mean something, but the thing is, though, again, Brock is considered a part-timer.
Right.
And I don't know, like ever since WrestleMania, I've just been like on this irritation with Cena, and it's like, at this point, there's got to be some other guy out there, I can't wait till Bryan comes back and just like,
I mean, that is if they give him the title back, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's likely they'll give him back the title. I mean, maybe not, but maybe they do it later or than sooner. But I think they eventually will give him back the title again, just to sort of,
I think Bryan's appeal, though, is that him being an underdog. And if he beats Lesnar, then him being an underdog is going to go out the window. It's just going to be, okay, Bryan is the man now. But if you give him an uphill battle where he has a reason to be an underdog, like have Lesnar beat him in the first match, and then maybe like 6 months later, like on SummerSlam, then Bryan wins, where rather than have him, win at the first try. I mean, like you look back at WrestleMania 9, I think Brett losing is bad because Hogan won after that, but then again, Yokozuna was a monster. So if Brett won, though, you would have killed Yoko, and Brett would have had nobody to feud with. So
I mean,
same thing goes for
they were going
Bryan.
to do Hogan and Brett, but Hogan didn't
Yeah.
want to put Brett over.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's going to be Brett's appeal is him being an underdog as well, because you look at his matches against like guys like Nash and Yokozuna and all those big guys. It's just like there's that appeal to him. Same thing goes for Bryan. So when you take that away, what's there to like about Bryan, really?
Yeah.
I think it's just putting the belt on Brock is just gonna set up someone else, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
That
Because-
someone else being
it would just be a bigger win.
Roman
It would
Reigns.
be a bigger win. Like if Roman Reigns versus John Cena, okay, that's whatever. But if Roman Reigns beats Brock Lesnar, then Roman Reigns is the guy who beat the one. That would mean more. With John Cena, it would just be like, oh, Roman Reigns, what's gonna happen to your career after this? Because that's what happened with Cena. You know, you're a young guy, you feud with Cena, your career goes.
Because that's what they're doing.
Like I said,
because
is
that's
that
what they're
Lesnar is bigger than the championships.
You know, standout.
What they're doing right now is they're testing. I think that's what they're doing right now is they're testing Roman Reigns for the main spot on like a big pay-per-view, like a Summerslam and everything. Because I think he's under the impression, and I still think a lot of the IWC is too. He's under the
What happened?
I don't
know.
Did Mike get called?
I don't know.
Anyway, I don't know. I tried to see things from like a logical sense when it comes to Cena, but at some point, you know, WWE just gotta try with someone else. You know, just there's other fucking guys. There's like 40 other guys working for your company, yet you're gonna all rely on this one guy, this one dude who might retire in the next 5 years? Because dude is like 37 now.
Yeah.
You know, who else is gonna be there? Like,
right.
It's like, if it had been Cena who ended the Undertaker streak, I think that would have made me more upset than Brock Lesnar doing it. Because it's like, what a big slap to the face of the Undertaker, you know.
Word. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. The fact that WrestleMania 30, yeah, we're going to have The Undertaker lose to a part-timer, and then we're going to have John Cena beat a young, up-and-coming guy.
Indeed.
We will go that far because we love Cena. Cena makes us money.
Well, at the end of the day, professional wrestling is a business.
Right.
So I was the guy that makes the most money, gonna get the most love and attention.
Exactly.
But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking live calls at the upcoming hour. Let us know your thoughts, your concerns on Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Do you feel Raw could have been better?
Yep.
Anything you would have done to fix Raw, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know down below in the comments section of this very live stream on the Parody Entertainer YouTube channel. I'm Heel Steven.
I am Groot.
Okay. And yeah, right now, guys, you know, wrestling as we know it, it's in a tight spot right now.
Yep.
It's in a tough spot.
Wrestling is definitely in a tough spot right now. Especially, you know, it's hard to think about it right now, but WWE and TNA are really going downhill right now.
Here's how I view wrestling. Okay, this works for me. WWE, TNA, ROH. I treat them like a bitch. If one bitch is not doing me right, I'll go on to the next one, and I'll rotate them. So in a way, you know, I have something to go to pretty much.
Yeah.
Or if not, I just have combat sports. Fuck it, boxing or MMA.
Oh, dude, indie wrestling is way better.
No, bro. I'm a wrestling fan, and I'm also a fan of combat sports like MMA, boxing. I'm a fan of both. And Perry left the chat. This is weird because normally when someone leaves the chat, the live thing would leave.
It's not the host.
Who's hosting the stream?
It's like Jeff Jarrett leaving TNA.
I don't know. But yeah, oh wait a minute. Dorian Facepen.
Wrestling at this point is like because of the internet and because of how much people can just go on Wikipedia for like 2 minutes and just look up the most meaningless shit. And you know, everyone just has now of this guy going, oh, this guy has heat with this guy is gonna go over there, this guy's gonna go over here, and you know, this guy's gonna get a push, this guy's gonna get a title shot. John Cena's gonna get his 80th title run.
Exactly.
And here's the thing: the funny thing with John Cena is like he doesn't irritate me as much as like Randy Orton, because Orton is on a whole other level. I mean, now I think I'm okay with him, but it's like from 2009 to like 2011, I had just like this fucking Orton, man. Because they were making him look like, oh, he's Orton, you know, like, so. And I remember he was beating the Nexus, he was beating Cena, he's beating Edge and Jericho, and
ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so apparently Perry just hit me up. Apparently his computer crashed.
Oh.
But he should be coming back, I hope. But anywho, we're still here, guys, for your convenience. If you want to still talk to us still. See if the stream is still playing. And the stream still, I'm going to play it. See if the stream is still playing.
Right.
Yeah, the stream is still playing. So it means we're still live on the air, ladies and gentlemen.
And hey everybody, it's Aaron Rift, and we're taking in your questions and hoping for you guys to send in the questions right now, and we could answer them. Yeah. Watch us play Day of Reckoning again.
No. Well, let's talk about something that really gets me sometimes about the wrestling community. How a lot of people can get so butthurt over an opinion. How people love to kiss so much ass to the big YouTubers in this community.
Right.
Just to get noticed and shit like that. How there's people here that treat us like a job. And Perry is back on the call, ladies and gentlemen.
Perry is back. The show was saved.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Marty Jannetty's an asshole.
Hey, nice hat. Kangol hat, hey?
If NWO doesn't show up, I am taking Robin Williams' path.
Hey, Perry, nice hat.
Yeah, right, dude. OKC.
Okay. Not bad. Yep. I'm wearing a yellow shirt.
All right.
Hulk
Oh,
rules,
what the hell happened? My computer just froze and shut off.
Well, it happens, man. You know, this is the advantages. You know, like I'll give you an example. There's a guy on this network. He has the crappiest laptop you'll ever fucking see. Right? It's buns. He's a host of a show. He puts commercials in and shit. It's just so fucking. It's a wreck. Real Janet. If it doesn't show up, I'm taking Robin Williams' path. What?
Wait, what?
If NWO doesn't show up, I'm taking Robin Williams' path.
Oh man.
That's fucked up, yo.
Marty Jannetty's
You
an
gotta be
asshole.
kidding.
You gotta be shitting me, right?
Oh, we are still
That's
live.
true.
Okay.
We're still up in the air.
All right.
We were discussing
Cool.
the problem with the internet community, how people love to kiss so much ass to the big YouTubers just to get noticed and attention,
Right.
Oh God.
which I really cannot stand.
I don't want to
Big
ask you guys
YouTubers
a
as
question
in-
about the IWC.
No. I'll give you an example too. There's people here that think that this is the fucking job, but it's not a job.
Not at all.
It's just a fucking hobby.
Yep.
Hence why I've decided on my channel, I will no longer be reviewing Raw or Impact fully on my channel. From now on, the reviews will be on the podcast every Friday.
You're just gonna have random videos.
No. I'll still do videos.
Random hangouts.
Yeah, I mean, there's no point in not just stopping videos.
No. The thing
Right.
is, here's the thing I know about my channel. I don't like being repetitive, so I'll just wait to do it all on the podcast. Don't worry, I'll still do this on my channel, on the news, whatever happens, but I don't know, I guess you can say I'm taking a small little break, if you will, but I'm still doing this once in a while. I did a hangout yesterday, it was random as shit. Still, I mean, I wonder what this chick's doing right now. I feel bad, though. What's our girl doing right now?
Should we start ending it here? At least the broadcast. Maybe not.
This is the best Raw review I've ever made. Or been part of.
if we keep making these, then there's gonna be plenty of them. So
We're
Okay,
clocking in about 4 hours now.
This is what I read right now. Okay, I see the WWE. I see that the WWE is either paying tribute or mocking TNA with an angle that is a nod to Claire Lynch, with a character named Megan Lynch, who has an affair with Daniel Bryan. Sounds familiar? As a result, Claire Lynch is trending on Twitter. Thanks, E. I mean, hey. She's
Hey,
back.
they got something trending better than how TNA did it.
Yes.
of course.
Story of TNA's life. They do something, WWE does it better. Womp womp.
That's why you should keep it in the gym.
Yeah, you gotta represent Thunder.
Oh, shit.
What?
Dude got dropped. Damn, dude got dropped.
Gotta represent my Thunder. That's why I'm wearing the hat, man.
So, Del Rio leaving is legit.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Horrible.
No more Del Rio
Was done.
Kofi matches.
He's good.
No more Ricardo.
All right.
Wow, yo, this is I saw the video. A guy just got okay. So two guys were fighting, right? They're trying to be like MMA fighters and shit. And one guy just punches the fuck out of somebody, right? And the guy ends up having a fucking seizure.
Oh my god. That's horrible.
So how about that? What's the shit called? How about that? What's that?
You so lost.
No. How about that? Drew McIntyre promo, yo, back in fucking in Ireland or Scotland, where the fuck it was.
I didn't see it.
Before you wish me a happy B-Day, I cheated on my wife. I used cocaine and weed and steroids. I gave my daughter massages. I threw Macho Man under the bus on TV after his death. What the fuck? The picture of Hogan holding a Jordan sneaker with the meme.
Wow. All right, so this is probably going to be the end of the actual live experience.
Yep,
Live and uncut.
exactly.
Now that's what I call raw.
Yeah, we should just record these every so often. Fucking hangouts.
The variety vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call it that.
Okay.
All right, well, you guys want to start plugging your stuff so we can...
Okay, well.
I don't think anybody's listening right now.
Hey,
At
this point.
Hey, if they are, more props to them. I
There's
mean,
always,
Oh man, they're
there's always the
absolute-
playback. There's always the playback. Well, you can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeelSteven. Also, subscribe to the podcast channel, youtube.com/TeamHeelPodcast. We go live every Friday, giving you our thoughts and views on the world of wrestling that happen throughout the week. And also subscribe to TRN Talking Wrestling Network. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers on that channel. We're doing a giveaway before SummerSlam, and if we're able to do that during the SummerSlam live review, we will give away a free poster autograph signed by the icon, the man himself, Sting. And also like our Facebook page, facebook.com/gutcheckpodcast.
Definitely don't want to miss that. Definitely don't want to miss the Sting giveaway. Make sure you subscribe so you can be a part of that.
Exactly.
Eddie, you got anything? No,
The Variety Vendor on YouTube, and where we talk about anything and everything. Just got done with a 5-hour Freddy Jason franchise retrospect. And if you guys are into horror movies, then that's a retrospect that you should not miss. If you've got 5 hours to spare, play video games or whatever, let it be background noise. That's always awesome. And I've got Thriller to Reign, who's been around for like about 5 years, but I still do videos here and there on that channel. Got Thriller to Reign on Twitter. Follow me on that. Pretty active on social media, but not that much. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Alrighty. Max, you got anything? If you're still awake.
Yeah, I'm just about ready to knock out, but no, just saying, send me a friend request on Facebook, Max Conde, CONDE. That's about it.
Alright. All the links are going to be down in the description box anyway, so if you couldn't hear them or if you missed out, you didn't really miss out. You can also follow me on Twitter at the PTE Show. You can also check out the PWF Is War podcast. I usually show up on those every so often. I wasn't able to last week due to, me being busy and everything. But I should be on there this week. If I'm not, well, then something really bad did happen to me. But you can go check that out. PWF Is War podcast. I just tried. What's up?
Knock on wood.
Oh yeah, it's right here, so it's all good. Luckily, I had some nearby, so. I just signed my first partnership with FullScreen.com, which I'm actually extremely excited for. See if I can get accepted to that. Fingers crossed. But yeah, like I said, you guys are watching this on my Perry the Entertainer channel, so there's no real point to plug it. Unless, if you have not subscribed already, I recommend you do so. Please like the video and let us know what you guys thought about Raw or any of the topics discussed in this video. Until next time.
We're out like Janet's titties. Peace.
Peace.
Take care, guys.